not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is the Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find the Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, the Monty Show live on Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. Hello. Welcome to the program, as always, presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business, no matter what it is, a traffic accident, injured at work, make sure you get to theadvocates.com, where you never pay a penny out of pocket to get the best legal advice. So do it right now. Clear, risk-free advice when you need it most at theadvocates.com. A lot to get to on the show today. Obviously, a lot of people have, I think, not forgotten about, but probably flown under the radar with what's going on with the Mountain West and the Pac-12 TV situations. We have a lot on that today. We have a lot on the perception of the Big 12. This was a big topic of conversation on the old X platform today, where it seems like everybody is all up in arms about what ESPN said, and it's call it what you want, power rankings or preseason preview of the Big 12, and whether or not, like I had people tweeting at me today about BYU's quarterback situation and how I'm selling them short and disrespecting them. Call it what you want. BYU has zero experience under center at the quarterback position. So you can say I'm disrespecting them, or you can say that maybe they just don't have experience. But without further ado, let's get into the Mountain West TV deal, because I think this is a pretty big story. As we have been telling you for months now right here on the show, the Mountain West TV deal is going to be just fine. And I think a lot of people are trying to figure out what the values are and who's going to be involved. And I know it's shocking that we told you that there was going to be, I don't know, CBS was going to be involved in their deal. Everybody told us, you guys are wrong. CBS is now with the Pac-12. Again, having conversations yesterday and today. CBS is fully expected to be part of the Mountain West TV deal. But I was talking to sources in TV today who were telling me that ESPN is very firmly in conversations, and it is expected that ESPN will be part of the Mountain West TV contract that is going to be announced. Most people believe before the ESPN direct-to-consumer product launches, which I guess at this point is by the end of the month. I don't know. That seems to be up in the air in Bristol, but I don't think there's any way you slice it, Jake. This is very good news for the Mountain West, especially if they are, in fact, able to get a deal done with ESPN.
Yeah, I mean, just the same way that, the Pac-12, got all their praise for the deal that they wound up doing initially. I think the Mountain West deserves credit for this. I mean, the idea that you can, have a relationship with ESPN, you can still put your biggest brands in a place that everybody can get that content, I think is great. I mean, that's what football conferences are always trying to do. It's why ESPN has so many relationships in college football, because obviously we can all just pull out the old smartphone and turn it on, whether you have YouTube TV, whether it's just the ESPN app, like whatever it might be, you can find their product. And I think that, this sort of, this measuring contest Pac-12 fans want to have with everybody about, oh, well, we've got the best TV deal and the Mountain West sucks and the Mountain West is terrible. And I just think they're in two completely different situations. And I think Lori Navarez has been steadfast on this. She has said consistently that they will get their deal done. in time. They're on pace, and so now to hear that ESPN is part of the conversation, I love that for them. I think that there's no way that can be turned into a negative talking point for the Mountain West.
Oh, I think people will find a way. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And one of the questions I've been trying to, find an answer to as I talk to people around the TV industry, is who's got value versus who doesn't have value. And I think one of the things that's very clear is there is no discernible difference when it comes to the value of the Mountain West TV deal versus the value of the Pac-12 TV deal. There's really no big span, and Pac-12 fans, and I think the Pac-12 conference on the whole would try to sell you that somehow the Pac-12 has exponentially or significantly more value in the TV landscape than the Mountain West has. And I'm simply here to tell you, nobody in television believes that. Nobody in television is operating on that level. It is very clear, I think, when it comes to these numbers, they're going to be very close. Who knows which one, the Mountain West or the Pac-12, ends up getting a larger deal. And frankly, when we get to the point where we're looking at the net versus the gross on these deals, again, I will continue to ask about the Pac-12. Who's paying the cost of production on Pac-12 TV deals? Because there's a lot of people in television who also believe that the Pac-12, mandating is probably a strong word, but the Pac-12 is very clearly wanting to be part of the production arm on their football broadcasts. And I am telling you that people like ESPN don't want that. If they're going to put Pac-12 football games on ESPN proper, they're going to want production control of those games. So it's conversations like that are going to be very interesting. I think if you're the Mountain West, the idea that you could have your games on CBS Sports Network, and ESPN's direct-to-consumer app, I think is a massive win. I don't know how closely people follow the news media or the media of the media, the news of the media. Fox announced that they too are now finalizing their direct-to-consumer offering. I mean, you're going to have a ton of landscape and a lot of people who need content on stream. And I guess the question is, how much do consumers value that? Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to get these guys paid.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the matchups in the Mountain West, I think sometimes are good. A lot of the times they're obviously lower on the slate. And when you talk about like how many people are interested, like what the consumer sentiment would be, I mean, ultimately, I think there was a lot of consumer sentiment last year for several of those big games in the Mountain West coming down the stretch, because the reality is, with the college football playoff, there's one spot up for grabs, and up until this point, obviously the Mountain West was the one in football competing, for those spots, obviously with Boise State. So I think, the great part about it is the ease of access, but I also think the worst part about it is now we're in a place where, just like you said, I mean, everybody is coming out with an app, and our phones are overloaded as consumers. And I think that that's a struggle. I mean, I know personally, I struggle with that. Like, how many apps do I have to have on my phone? Like, how many different ways am I going to have to figure out how to program the TV just to get every game that I'm interested in? And so I like the ESPN, contingent for anybody partnering with them. It's what we said about BYU for years, man. Everyone said, oh, well, why does that matter? Why does that matter? Because BYU draws 1 million people a game on average, So if the Mountain West is in a place where they can, at their level, put out good numbers and put out good matchups, this is a good partnership. But the reality is, it all still comes back to where these two are going to go in court, and if it ever gets to court. I mean, who knows? Maybe
I don't think it does.
Yeah,
I don't think it does.
I mean, if the Mountain West can settle, and it's let's say it's 80%. Let's say they get 80% of what it was supposed to be. You're going to be in a really solid position, and the Pac-12 is obviously on the other end of that. So I just think when I hear, hey, ESPN and the Mountain West are in talks to finalize something before, and I think this is important, like you said, before the DTC thing comes out, that's a big deal. That rollout of that product, anybody who's getting onto that right now is going to get massive push when they do that. So I'm glad to hear that they're shooting for that.
Well, and I think the way, before we get to the details of the deal, I mean, you look at ESPN's direct to consumer pricing. If we are at a place where we're getting, what is it supposed to be? I think $19.99 a month for the first year. And then you get package pricing, and you get a bundle, if you will, with Disney. Fox is offering you the same thing. Fox News Nation that sometimes tells the truth.com. Like you get all of that kind of bundled together. But you look at where ESPN plans, looking at a text message that I got talking about how it'll be $299 annually. And according to people I talked to in television, they're expecting to have 50,000 live events in the first year, live sporting events on their ESPN direct-to-consumer app. And they are looking at bundling prices with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN for $35.99 a month with ads. You can buy it ad-free for $45.99 a month. You're looking at a bundle discount of what could be $16.99 a month. If you take Disney Plus and Hulu, you can get a 1 year $16.99 a month. I mean, if you're a sports fan, it's going to be awfully difficult to say no to that. And frankly, I think when you really look at who we are as sports fans, ESPN has everything that we're all interested in. Big 12, ACC, SEC, the college football playoff. Obviously, the big miss there is the Big 10, but you're going to have some crossover there. If they add the Mountain West and the Pac-12, and hear me clearly, I fully expect the Pac-12 to be part of ESPN's direct-to-consumer as well. I think that's the big win. My guess is that both the Pac-12 and the Mountain West are going to end up on between 4 and 5. I think you're looking at a situation where you could pretty easily see a mix of, or a combination of, CBS and let's assume, because they have never steered me wrong, but let's assume my sources are correct. It's CBS, ESPN, and then you need a third arm there. Somebody like a TNT, somebody like a regular mainstream cable channel to distribute your games. Is that CBS Sports? For the Pac-12, would that continue to be the CW that would get the lion's share of your content? Like, these deals don't any longer have to be every game on ESPN. That's it. Like, that's the whole deal. It's not like that for secondary, frankly, G5 teams. You look at the Mountain West deal now, you're largely Fox and CBS Sports gets the majority of your work, right? And then you look at what this deal going forward is. We're in an age of streaming now, and you have to be part of the streaming ecosystem. I would not at all be surprised to see the Mountain West be on CBS, be on Fox, direct to consumer, whatever, and on ESPN. Like, I think those are the necessary evils of those deals. But make no mistake about it, I think all of this, what is this, trench warfare and spin and propaganda that the Mountain West is dead and they're done, and the Pac-12 stole their TV deal. Well, I got news for you. Here we are on August 5th, and the Pac-12 still hasn't announced a complete media rights deal. And I don't know how you don't have concern over that when all the hype we heard was, oh yeah, our deal's done. Here's the CBS portion of it.
Yeah, and your commissioner's coming out saying that, you want a transformational partner, and, you want all these things, and, you've got JD Wicker and Wickerland talking about how the deal is going to be done in 5 minutes, and then it's been like 6 months. Like, it's really it's a thing of, the word that I've always used is posturing. I mean, that's what the Pac-12 has done that for years, man. Hey, we're the best conference, and I agree. Pac-12 After Dark was iconic, bro. I mean, we had moment after moment, highlight after highlight with Pac-12 After Dark games in the late window. And there's a reason that was such a beloved situation. But unfortunately, this, posturing has been pervasive, from private jets and way over expensive, conference headquarters, to not doing deals that you feel like are below you. Like, it's a difficult thing to make money, stay in existence, be in existence for a long time when you operate that way. That's hard.
Yeah, I think this is a really critical moment in time for both these conferences. I think, obviously, we've talked about this ad nauseum, and I know that Gloria's in our pocket and she's paying us and we think she's hot, and all the ridiculous, insulting things that we hear about the Mountain West on a daily basis. But I will continue to tell you, all of the TV people that I speak to on a regular basis have nothing but glowing remarks for the Mountain West and the way they've done business. And I think Gloria Navarra has earned a lot of credit when she let her TV partners know before everybody else knew that these 5 members were leaving. I think that was a really important move, that she maintained open lines of communication to continue to build that relationship. And I think on the other side of that, you continue to see that the Pac-12 is not negotiating their own deal. The Pac-12 continues to try and push for this incredibly high revenue bar that's just impossible to meet. I mean, the Pac-12 really wants to push to $15 million a year, and it's just not in the marketplace. It does not exist in today's economics, especially with what we are seeing with the economy, what we are seeing with consumer sentiment, with what we are seeing people willing to pay for television, which is why I go back to this ESPN direct-to-consumer, because I'm telling you now, when that launches, I will be dropping YouTube TV in a second, because all I watch is essentially sports on ESPN. And I watch, obviously, the NFL Sunday Ticket. I don't need YouTube TV to get the Sunday Ticket. Obviously, I'm watching a lot of Big Ten football. I don't need YouTube TV to watch Big Ten football, right? So for me, it's one of these things where I think this deal all is predicated around who can bring the most and who brings the most eyeballs and the most value. And right now, I think there's no question that is the Mountain West, because they've got a structure in place. I don't believe, and maybe I'm wrong, obviously I'm not in the room, I don't believe that the Mountain West is pushing for some massive number per year. I think they are actually looking for a true partnership that gets them as much reach as possible for their universities, their brands, and their athletes. I think that's the way you have to do these deals, because anymore it's what, and I'm trying to be gentle and calculated with my words, but it's what Pac-12 fans have not wanted to hear for years and years and years. It's $50 million per school per year. It is, don't want to be on stream. It is, we're the biggest and the baddest. What are you going to do about it? The problem is, you're not the biggest and the baddest anymore. And for everything that the Mountain West is not brand-wise, because I will not sit here and pretend to believe that the Mountain West has better brands. I don't think there's any question that the new Pac-12 has the better football brands, which is really what matters. But it's not accidental that when these deals are getting done, the Mountain West is in a far better negotiating position, simply because they're negotiating. They understand who they are and where they are. And I am not convinced, based on the conversations I'm having with people in television, that the Pac-12 has changed their tune at all from the days of back-of-the-envelope calculations. I am not at all convinced that the Pac-12, based on conversations I'm having with people at the highest levels of television, offers an exponentially more valuable product than the Mountain West does. Is it more valuable? Yeah, I think it's more valuable. But when we're talking about dollars and cents, I'm talking about the difference between a $5 bill and 4 $1 bill. Like, there's not some huge difference.
After the envelope calculation.
I've got 4 singles, you've got a $5 bill. There's 4 quarters between us, right? It's not some huge thing. And I wish I had pulled a better analogy, but it's not some huge span between the Mountain West and the Pac-12.
Well,
the Pac-12 is slightly more valuable.
But I think that span is a great way to put it, because when it comes to value, I agree that just on their face, like conference for conference, yeah, I mean, they're pretty similar. There's not a big span, but I mean, I think we can all agree, chat included, that we all know those people in life who are a pain in the ass. And the Pac-12 has been nothing but a pain in the ass for TV partners. And I think that's the struggle, is that, okay, well, hey, and I'll even go with Pac-12 fan. Let's just do an experiment. Hey, the Mountain West is slightly less valuable than the Pac-12, slightly less valuable.
Yeah.
But they're way easier to work with. They're level. They are logical. Their asks are not out of this world crazy. That has value. That has real tangible value. I can tell you, again, like we told you repeatedly on this show, ESPN's agreements are pretty much boilerplate. It comes down to the relationship and what you're asking for and what ESPN wants. So the idea that somehow, again, as you always say, like the Pac-12 wants to have control over their broadcast and wants to have all these things mixed in. You're being a pain in the ass. Take the check and let ESPN do what it does. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I don't think either one of these conferences is getting a groundbreaking amount of money. I think they'll be very similar deals because, as I've told you, for 6-8, and really, geez Louise, it is August 5th, for 12 weeks now, essentially for the last 3 months, we've been telling you that the Pac-12 is struggling to find a number to placate its new membership. That's the single biggest issue. My belief is, in talking to people close to the situation, my belief is one of the main reasons that you saw the exiting members of the Mountain West sit tight and not give their notice up until the very last hour was because they wanted to stall the Mountain West's ability to negotiate a new TV deal for 2026. I think that was one of the absolute main reasons those exiting 5 members stood there and waited, because the Pac-12, and we all remember the infamous J.D. Wicker, hey, we're going to have a deal done by the end of March. Well, here we are in August, and you still don't have a deal done. And it's
absolutely
remarkable.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's remarkable to me that's the narrative that continues. But it's because you don't see the Mountain West making that mistake. The Mountain West is operating very quietly. And I know, frankly, you guys won't believe me, but I know people in the Pac-12 offices watch this show. We know it. We talk to you guys. We see you. We hear you. My advice to you is to be quiet, to tell guys like J.D. Wicker, your athletic directors, your presidents, nobody's talking about it. If it's not Teresa Gould, nobody's talking about it. That's the way that it should be. You look at how the Mountain West handled their football media days. I thought they handled it perfectly. I thought Gloria Navarez answered every question about a new media deal perfectly. It's coming. We'll have an announcement for you. But we're not going to get out over our skis and talk about how we're going to have a transformative partnership and we're going to... No, dude. Tell us when you get it. Hey, look at this deal we're the Pac-12. We just got our new media rights deal. Look how transformative it is. And here's why, A, B, and C, right? That's what the Pac-12 should be doing. Not sitting on front office sports talking about how you need a transformative partnership. And then what do? You immediately go out and you say in that front office sports thing, well, we can't have a deal where they just cut us a check and we broadcast games. And then what did you immediately do? You turned around and cut a deal where they cut you a check and you broadcast the games.
And my only question is, in a time when you need money, why not? Why not? Take the money. Broadcast your game, take the money. It's not that difficult. I feel like it's the, it was the old adage on the show, when the Pac-12 was melting down, people would always say, oh, well, the Pac-12, they're all uppity and they just care about the quality of the pencil they're sharpening in that conference. It's that sort of, that panache, if you will, that I just think rubs people the wrong way. It would be different if the Pac-12 was the only conference that ESPN had to work with, but that's not the case. And I just think it's a tale of two conferences who we all agree should have merged and they couldn't figure it out. And now we're in a place where it's all right, now we got to say who's more valuable and who's got this and who's got that and who's better and who's worse. Yeah. And the reality is, what's going to decide it? Well, what you do on the football field and the basketball court, as usual. I mean, Hell, if the Mountain West gets a great TV deal by their standard, but then they have an awful athletic season, I mean, what's the narrative going to be then? Like that's what the truth in college sports is right now.
Yeah, we'll see. I think if either one of these conferences gets anywhere north of $8 million, they should be jumping up and down and celebrating, because I think that those are the numbers I continue to hear. And I just look at this mediation and these lawsuits and the inability to come together in mediation, the inability of these 5 exiting members to and that's the funny thing. I was talking to like a really powerful guy, somebody that sits at top of a major media company, who said, I don't understand what these schools are doing besides keeping lawyers in business. Like this idea, and it's brilliant branding by the Mountain West. They put it out in a statement last week, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. This idea that you wrote these bylaws and you built these exit fees into your bylaws, and then you reinforce them when San Diego State tried to do what they did. And now that you're the ones leaving, you don't want to pay them. It's a brilliant talking point. And none of the 5 exiting members want to talk about it. None of them will address it publicly. And I think that's the one. The poaching fee, have at it. It's going to come down to good faith and contract law. Have at it. The bottom line is, the Pac-12 has got to find a way to stop paying lawyers, because if you get $50 million in your TV deal and half of that goes to a lawyer, you only got $25 million in your TV deal.
Yeah.
And you can spin it, and you can, if you're a conference, if you're a G6 conference right now, you look at the governance that came out today that was approved by the D1 Council. You have no voice in the highest levels of college football. You have zero voice in what happens. Essentially, what the Power 4 conferences want, the Power 4 conferences are going to get. You have, if you're the Pac-12, you can continue to sell yourself, as one of the 5 conference. You're not. You can continue to sell yourself as anything you want. The bottom line is, you're a G6 conference now, and that is what it is. You do not have a voice in the future of the championship of college football. So you need to operate in a way that makes you the single most attractive G6 conference. End of story. That should be everything you do. Reputation, communication, execution, branding, relationship building on the field, on the court, in the pool, on the golf course. Every competition has to be top-notch, executed at the highest level. But yet, we still see that you announce a CBS deal, and I'm asking Pac-12 fans, because seemingly we always hear about this, but why did you announce that CBS deal? We talked about this. I asked this exact question when it happened. Why did you announce the CBS deal when you did?
Because you needed a win. That's the only reason. You needed to fabricate a win. That's the only thing I can
think of. That's it.
Because like you said, I mean, it's not like that's some incredible deal, right? I mean, it's essentially the deal you did this coming year, and then then you're going to do it again. So like, the conference continues to do this thing where it's like the old adage in life. You never want to count your money until it's actually been deposited into your account, right? You never want to be like, oh, well, hey man, I got this deal closing, but yeah, it's going to have to wait till next month. So, I'm still going to go buy the car or buy this or buy that, because that money's coming in. I feel like that's how the Pac-12 operates. Like, yeah, we're good. We're good. We're going to get this big ass TV deal. We're going to be $10 million a year per school, and we're going to be flush, and never mind this lawsuit, and never mind the lawsuit that Boise State threatened over the GCU edition, right? Like, they just want to say, hey, we're this great conference, and not have any thought to reality. And that's why I say I love this concept of the span between the two, because in literal terms, there's not a big span, but in figurative terms, and hey, like, are you excited to talk to the Pac-12? How is the Pac-12 viewed? Like, who would want to do business with the Pac-12? That's not good, man. And it just continues to go that way. I think
the Pac-12 has a lot of things going for it. You have a really good football branch. You have some really good administrators. Scott Barnes at Oregon State continues to be a guy that I think is one of the real smart dudes in the room, and it gives me hope that the Pac-12 can bring a media rights deal in that will help them. I mean, I don't think any media rights deal that the Pac-12 does is going to impact their bottom line in the first 2 years. I just think they have so many expenses from starting. I mean, because you have to understand, this is a brand new company that they're launching. Like, this is not just a reload. This is a brand new company. And it's not like you're bringing in a bunch of big budgets. You're not bringing in again, everybody always points to Stanford and Cal. Like, well, they're in the ACC and they're not coming. Right? You're talking about smaller budgets. Even Oregon State and Washington State, you look at the challenges that Washington State athletics is going to face here over the next 3 years. They have a faculty and staff that does not have an appetite to put a lot of money into sports. They're in a situation where I think it's going to be tough for Washington State to compete at the top of the new Pac-12. I would be really surprised if Oregon State was not the dominant brand in that conference, football and otherwise. But you look at the challenges financially that come with trying to create a brand new company and just hit the ground running. That doesn't exist in college sports. And whether it is teams jumping, Utah is a great example of it, jumping from the Mountain West to the Pac-12, that road took a long time. And unfortunately, it was only at the end that they won back-to-back championships and went to the Rose Bowl. But it's that kind of climb that now an entire conference is going to have to battle. And they just continue to dump money into legal fees. And that's why I say, if you're a fan of any of these exiting 5 members, look at San Diego State. Do you think San Diego State University is flush with cash?
There's no way.
There's no way. You look at the economics of doing business right now and taxes in California. You look at the revenue that is not coming in to San Diego State, to Fresno State. You look at those California state athletic institutions, they already have tight budgets, right? So you just know the first 3 years, in my opinion, and really it's not my opinion, from people I've talked to around the situation, like the first 3 years is not going to be an equity play for these new members. Like this reimagined Pac-12, I think they'll be fine in basketball. It takes significantly more money to operate in football. Like, I mean, if you look at the budget of most G5s, and I don't know, what would be an average budget in the Mountain West or the Pac-12 for basketball? Probably $4 to $6 million.
Yeah.
And
probably.
maybe your biggest programs, maybe the GCUs and the Gonzagas are spending $7, $8, $9 million. But even that's a stretch in this day and age. Like, I would imagine that GCU spends somewhere around $7, $8 million. I would imagine somebody like Gonzaga probably is north of that, but below 10 million. Like, and you look at the new rulings that came out. If you go to the NCAA, if you go to the Final Four now, and you used to, that would be where the payday ended. Now you go to the championship round and you continue to get paid now. Both institutions that play for the championship get a TV share, and then the team that wins the NCAA tournament gets an extra share. Like, you think that's really important to people like the Mountain West, who has put teams into this tournament regularly? You think the San Diego States of the world, you think the UNLVs of the world, the Gonzagas of the world, the GCUs of the world, you think that excites them a little bit? I would think it does. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you look at, I mean, just to put this into perspective of what you're saying, like, you look at annual revenue, the revenue for schools came out for 24-25, and you look at the projected for 25-26, and the projection for Boise State is $24.3 million in total revenue, and the rev share on that from the House settlement, the 22%, is $5.3 million. So just right there, you went from your overall number being 24 and some change down to the high teens, and we haven't even talked about all the other things you have to pay for. So I just hope people understand that that when you see the biggest of the big in college athletics doing, 100 million, 200 million, like these wild numbers like Ohio State and Texas, the usual suspects, like that's not the norm. That's the
Not at all.
one percenters of the situation thriving and doing what they do. And the norm is more 24.3 million, and you're trying to just be above water. Like,
and I
that's
think
the truth.
If you look at somebody like Boise State, I mean, that can't. Are they a $75 million budget? They're probably far below that. I mean, you look at Boise, they're probably $50-60 million in total athletic budget, right? I mean, you start looking at, and I guess I could look it up, but you look at who would have the largest budget in the Pac-12. It's not going to be Washington State. My guess it'd be Oregon State.
Probably.
Oregon State or San Diego State, Oregon State probably are the closest.
I mean, honestly,
I would
probably
think,
Oregon State, just because of it, all jokes aside. I mean, you look at, if you go back before the Pac-12 melted down, the investment into research, obviously they had money to do that. They had put money together to do that. So they got that taken care of. Now they're in a really good place. Obviously you lose your head coach in football. You got to replace him. So like you've had a couple of costs here, but I would agree that Oregon State, just thinking about it, really should be the athletic department in that conference that would be at the top. Next,
I mean, I would have to think Oregon State, or I doubt it's UNLV, but I mean, those schools have got to be close to $90 million, between 90 and $100 million, I would think, in budgets. And you look at what that means for basketball, and you start asking yourself, okay, well, if we're spending at the G5 level, if we're spending anywhere between 15 and $40 million on football, like what are we going to spend on basketball? Is Gonzaga going to spend $15 million on basketball in the Pac-12? I would highly doubt that. I mean, do you understand how much money $15 million is for basketball? And you start looking at somebody like think of that the new Pac-12 is Utah State. Is Utah State going to spend $10 million on basketball?
No.
Not a goddamn
Not
chance.
a chance.
They probably don't spend half that. They probably spend between $4 and $5 million on basketball at Utah State. And I mean, we can keep going with that, but I just think
Utah State's revenue is 12.3.
So you're not spending half. Well, you might be spending half that on basketball, I guess. I mean, if you look at,
but you're not double digits on basketball. You're nowhere near that.
No, I think you would be probably $4 to $5 million.
Yeah.
But if you look at who are the members of this kind of San Diego State in basketball, an elite basketball program, $8 million, maybe. I mean, I think Gonzaga is probably the only double-digit basketball spender in that league, and I would have to think that a San Diego State's probably near the top of that list, $8 to $9 million. You look at somebody like a Washington State. Washington State's probably $4 million, $5 million. Colorado State on basketball Colorado State spends a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw their number today was $35 million a year on football. For a budget, I think their number was $35 million. I was reading in one of the Denver sports writers was talking about the rivalry between Colorado State and Colorado and how much more money Colorado spends. And in that article, I think I read that Colorado State spends like $35 million on football. So if we think about what's their basketball, my guess is they would be top half, between 5 and 6 million. That's the kind of money we're talking about, right? So if you go to the Mountain West, and who's in the new Mountain West? Your UTEPs of the world. UTEP is probably the least well-heeled. They have the least money. I would think UTEP's $1.5 million, maybe. If UTEP was spending $2 million on basketball, I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
If UTEP is spending $6 million on football, I'd be shocked. I mean, I would have to think San Jose State would probably be towards the bottom of that list. San Jose State, they can't spend $2 million on basketball. There's no way. And if in football, I would think that's really tough.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's not a ton of money to be going around.
There's not.
That's the thing that I think, again, I'm not trying to be a Pac-12 fan hater, but this is the things that I bring up that I think Pac-12 fan just doesn't want to talk about, which is like, dude, like there's not a lot of money to go around, generally speaking, because you're a G6 conference now.
The money's tough,
it's
man.
not like you've got some stockpile of money hidden away in your piggy bank for the conference.
That's right.
And you're blowing up with, like, that's not the scenario here. And that's where,
I agree.
Bro, that's where I say, like, where are they getting the money to be able to just keep putting the foot on the pedal with litigation? That's what I truly don't get.
And here's a legitimate question. I ask you this legitimately. Do the exiting members of the Mountain West Conference do all they can do to make the NCAA tournament this year? Let that sink in. And why do I ask that? Why do I broach that point? Not to be a red ass, but I am. Well, today a pink ass. But
it would be a red ass move by them if they did what you're about to explain.
But why do I ask that? Because those tournament shares stay in the conference. They don't move with the club. So my guess is that's at least, I know for a fact it's been talked about. I don't believe that they would do it. I think it'd be very difficult to go to your athletic director and your basketball coaches and say, well, we're trying to get a knuckle deep on the Mountain West here. I don't think you would do it. I really don't, because
at some point the student athlete experience has to matter.
Isn't that why? But isn't that why they're all pissed that GCU joined that league this year? Because that's a bigger basketball budget. Right? If you look at GCU, and I have no idea what they spend. I don't even know if it's public or not because they're a Catholic university. I have to think that they are $7 to $8 million in basketball. And I believe they'll be I know they'll be the biggest basketball budget in that league. I mean, isn't that what's tweaking Boise? That, oh, hey, we're going to screw them out of tournament shares. In comes GCU. Now, is GCU making a Final Four run or probably not?
GCU in 2022, so 3 years ago, reported $6.8 million in expenses for the basketball program. So
if that's 20, what did you say that year was?
22.
So in 2025, I have to think, and actually it would be 2026 because of the turn of the calendar. I have to think they're $7 to $8 million.
Yeah,
because those MFers in Phoenix, let me tell you something.
Coming up.
Those folks do not like losing basketball games ever. And I think GCU is incredibly competitive. But again, I am guessing off the top of my head, but that's my thought on to why they're so pissed off that GCU got in the league early, because of tournament shares and the money that is associated with that. And if I am Boise State, I'm probably, it's ridiculous to think you would spend another penny on a lawyer. It's ridiculous you would use any portion of your retainer to have a lawyer send a cease and desist letter even over GCU joining this conference early. But my guess is they wanted to huff and puff and we're going to sue your ass, Gloria.
Come on.
Because you're upset that's a basketball solution.
You're
for the Mountain
upset
West. There's
that
no
they
doubt.
came up with a better solution than you could affix to hold them down. Right? I mean, because that's what it, I mean, you're totally right. I mean, that's what it is. Like, you're upset that they went and pulled the trigger on that move, even though in the bylaws it says they're allowed to do that. And then to double down on that, if tomorrow it came out that, oh, well, the Pac-12 schools scandal, the Pac-12 schools intentionally didn't go to the tournament to screw the Mountain West as they had departed the Pac-12. Like, right. I wouldn't be surprised, bro. Like, yeah. I do think, though, there's this piece of it where it's like, at some point the pettiness has to stop when you start thinking about student experience and like, these kids aren't here forever. You guys are. Like, there's a difference. So I don't know, man. I still maintain, and I know we're well past it and can't put the cart in front of the horse and all that or whatever. Like, these two should have merged and they should have done the right thing, but they didn't. And it goes back to this pride piece that the Pac-12 just won't get the hell out of the way and say, yeah, you know what? We did make a mistake in our old incarnation. We should have taken the deal. We should have taken 35. Dude, if they took 35 a year, they would have been in a beautiful position right now.
Yeah,
and we wouldn't even be talking about this.
Oh, the Pac-12 is a tragedy. The Pac-12 is one of the great tragedies in the history of sports in this country. It just never had to happen. But again, I think still the best example of this is look what's going on in the ACC. Look at how they tried to go to court and there was a gotcha jackpot moment with ESPN, never came to fruition. It's that same situation. And I actually think those in the ACC that stuck it out are going to be well rewarded for it, as we've been talking about with Carolina and Duke and Miami. And I think they're going to be well rewarded for it. But it's the mistake that you continue to see with the Pac-12. It didn't have to happen the first time. They shouldn't be paying lawyers the second time. And we'll see. We'll learn. Let's get to your thoughts here on the Monty Show. Let's get into the comments section. First one in today, $2 from Noel Ramirez. Yo, I'm back. What did I miss? Nothing. Dude. You missed nothing. UCF still has not won a game under Scott Frost this year.
Yeah, they're still Garbo.
It's funny. I was talking to somebody today who said, what was UCF thinking with Scott Frost? Is that really the best they could do? I hope for you guys, for all you bounce house lunatics, I really hope that they can win games with Scott. I have very little hope. I think you look at the state of Florida, it's already one of the hotbeds of football in this country. I think Miami is going to be better. I think Florida State, how can Florida State be worse?
Seriously.
I mean, I think Billy's probably going to get whacked at Florida, but they'll move on. Like you start looking at how football in the state of Florida will be shaped. And I think we're going to get back to the Canes and the Knowles. And I think we're all, as college football fans, I think we're all better for it. With all due respect to my friends in Gainesville, I think we're all better for it. Noel, good to see you. Charlie Casado. You say potato, I say Casado. That's a bad joke. $20. Would adding a service school, Air Force, Army, or Navy make a lot of goodwill for these conferences and maybe help change just some of the landscape? But I don't think so. And I don't necessarily believe. Is Army on the rise?
I mean,
as a football program.
But like, it's not like they're going to go out and win a national championship or something. Like,
well, and I asked that because if you look at Army last year in the American, and first of all, I ask, if you're Army, why would you leave the American? You have no reason to do that. But if you look at Army last year in the American, your losses that loss to Navy is always a ball breaker. But you ran into one really good team and you got thumped. We thumped you, right? Like Notre Dame. I don't necessarily believe that Army is looking to move. And I don't think that, in my opinion, I don't believe that adding a service academy is something that is on a lot of people's minds. Frankly, I don't think either one of these leagues, and Gloria all but said this, Gloria Navarro, the commissioner of the Mountain West, all but said this at media days. Her focus is not on expanding right now, nor should it be. Her focus is on the business of the Mountain West in terms of media rights deal, branding deals, like everything that's revenue generating, getting all these new sheep into the pen and getting them all going in the right direction. Like, that's what you have to do. But you look at any of these leagues, I don't know that there would be a reason for, like, why would Air Force Academy leave the Mountain West? Like, they would have no reason to do that.
Nope.
Right? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
But this is the question we asked about the schools leaving for the Pac-12. What was the reason? What was the impetus? What was the promise in the sales pitch? That we still don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, I don't know either. And I think it'll be interesting to see Like, why would Army and Navy leave the American? Or I don't know. I mean, I guess I understand the question. I just don't think that there's a whole lot of merit in it, because I don't think there's a lot of evidence that says Army or Navy's looking to leave that league. Now, you want to talk to me about Memphis? I think that's a conversation. D-Rock 15. The service academies are not leaving the American. I would agree with that 100%. Gabriel, so you hired the guy that won a championship in 2017 when you barely beat Auburn. Scott Frost was a failure at Nebraska and will be a failure at UCF. Whoa.
Jesus. Chill.
Whoa. Take it easy. The stadium guy, James. Army, are you going to talk to me about Army's IPF? Army does have plans to improve their football stadium.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
You know,
Bro.
No, the drop we needed was
stay hard.
This is what you do.
Yeah, hey, stay on
the
brand.
renderings look really good. Well, thankfully, the renderings look really good. Wasikowskinator. I don't want to talk about baseball. Army Liberty would go to the ACC if the ACC collapsed in 2030. Yeah, I'm interested to see. The future of college football is very interesting because, and I know I'm probably alone in the world in this, but I think the ACC has some really valuable brands outside of, and I know, outside of Tobacco Road.
What?
Outside of Tobacco Road, yes, the ACC has some really valuable brands. And I think it's just a matter of time. Kenneth Maynard, Grand Canyon, and Liberty are both dumping loads of cash into athletics, and why wouldn't you?
And they understand.
GCU's very good at what they do. That is, again, take your God out of it, but that's a money-making operation in Phoenix. And yeah. Boyd Lake, Yo Bros looking great, guys. Thank you. Yeah, you guys nobody's got anything on the
I
pink
like
shirt.
the polo a lot, dude.
I'm
mean,
wearing a pink
good,
shirt, right? Like it is like I'm trying to diversify out of all black every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And I get nothing, no love on the pink shirt. Noel Ramirez for $5. LOL was back in London, met a girl over there, so been pretty busy. Giggity charge on. Bro, I love London. It is one of my favorite cities in the world. My only heartbreak is I don't get to go there this year. Because we're going to Paris and Milan instead. But I love London. So, hey, just make sure she has a good dental plan. Aaron Wilson gifted one Monty Show membership. There you go, Aaron Wilson. Good to see everybody's, and I should say everybody, America's. America. That awkward guy. Wait, GCU is a real college? I thought it was like an ITT Tech. Oh, no. Grand Canyon University. Now, you don't want to have to drive to their campus because you might not make it in one piece. Grand Canyon's not, shall we say, in the best of zip codes in Phoenix.
Yeah, but let's not put the Bishop Sycamore label on GCU, okay?
Well,
like GCU is as legit as they get.
But once you get to GCU's campus, it is remarkable. You'll never want to leave. It is, in my opinion, one of the best campuses in the Southwest. They have restaurants and fast food on campus. They have everything that you could ever possibly want. If you're a college kid, you never have to leave the gates and the walls. And they have walls, and they have gates, and they have their own police department. You never have to leave there. And trust me when I say, the baseball program, the soccer program, the basketball programs, like the only thing they don't do is play football. And it is, my God, that is, you could do a lot worse than going to Grand Canyon. Eric Wasikowski, King of the Hill Revival was more entertaining than a Pac-12 game. Okay. Why are you always a hater about everything but Michigan football? Well, Michigan State football too. And apparently Central Michigan, but
obviously, yeah.
Like you never have anything to say. What, are you not going to crack poetic about how the Big 12 is, what do you always say? They're in the G6 or they're just another G6 or whatever you always say. You're not going to wax poetic about that. You're not going to rip the Bucks. You're stooping to King of the Hill revivals. Come on, man. Bro. You having an off day? Big Blue Horses, Monty. I said earlier, I'm digging the pink salmon palm leaf. It is a Hawaiian shirt. It is a Callaway Golf.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know which way should I move. Callaway Golf right here. Do you guys know how hard it is to put your finger in the right place on video? Ho ho!
Oh!
Anyway, Callaway Golf, and it really is a Hawaiian style shirt. So I very much appreciate that. Big Blue Horses, thank you. Charles Webster. So anytime we do Pac-12, I'm always a little hesitant to read the non-member comments.
Yeah.
I wonder if the hardcore Pac-12 would be mad if the Mountain West picked up St. Mary's. St. Mary's is going to go somewhere because that's speaking of a Catholic institution.
I don't think it's necessarily about GCU as an institution. That's not why they were upset. It could have been adding anybody.
Yeah, it could have been your mom's sewing circle.
Yeah, they
right.
Were, it was premise. They were like, hey, you're adding another school, and that's going to benefit you and not help us. And so screw you. We're going to put more paper down. That was the threat. And again, I'd just like to point out, haven't seen more paper out of Boise State. I'm still waiting.
Boy, so the pink shirt is a thing.
Oh, okay.
On LinkedIn Messenger.
Well, Monty, I'm a professional sales office bro, and the pink shirt doesn't live up to it, Monty.
Terry.
Oh, excuse me.
Right? Terry, who is a regional director in radio, says the bucked up Miami can would have gone much better with the pink shirt today, Monty. Shame on you. Hey, buckedup.com. Buckedup.com. Use the promo code Monty.
That's a good take though, right?
That is.
Worked in the sponsor, that was good. That was good work.
Yeah, look at Shouty. Like the pink polo, Monty. Thank you, Shouty.
See?
Boy, did you see, Shouty, did you see what ESPN said about Arch Manning? Called him one of the single most important players in college football and the most important college football quarterback. We need to get to that. GCU looks like a resort in some of their ads. Their campus, again, Greg, their campus is beautiful, but Jake, we've been there 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
Their campus is beautiful, but dude, you'll get shanked walking down the street outside their campus.
Oh yeah, I mean, you pull in and the parking garage is right there, and the drive-in is definitely kind of sketch, and then you pull into like the driveway before you turn left into the parking garage, and it's like once you're on the little drive to get to the parking garage, you're like, all right, cool, like I made it past the rough part of the neighborhood, like we're gonna be okay. And then you park and you're like walking across and you look down the drive and you can just see all the nonsense happening down the street. But then you step right inside the gates of campus. There's guards and it's all good and everything's cool. And it's beautiful. It's new. It's gorgeous.
And their facilities, like their GCU arena where they play basketball is.
Yeah, I mean, even their soccer stadium is amazing.
Oh, man, baseball, when good old Andy Stankiewicz used to be the baseball coach there, just incredible. Ed Enriquez, good or bad, Big 12 having 5 teams in the preseason coaches poll? Bad. And I know it's crazy, and here's what Ed Enriquez is talking about. It's not bad. Let me be very careful with this. Because I know we've spent a lot of time talking about this. But when I look at this, I'm in awe of this. This is a PR job.
Mm-hmm.
And Texas, Ohio State, cock on thigh at number 3. Georgia, how is Georgia the 4th best team in the country right now?
You have LSU there, I'm assuming.
I would have LSU there. I think LSU, and again, I'll go to my grave saying this. I think LSU and Texas are the 2 best teams in the country, and it ain't close. I think it's LSU and Texas and everybody else. I look at this and I say to myself every single year, these preseason polls, I know they're very difficult and the coaches got to scratch something on the paper. Totally get it. You've got Penn State and Georgia 3 and 4 and Oregon is 7th somehow. And again, you know what? I got a ton of people in the YouTube comments section yesterday when we were talking about Klatt having Clemson 4th. 4. He's got Penn State. He's got Epstein University, number 1 in the country. Number 1 in the country at Epstein U. and you're trying, like, you think glory is in my pocket. Are you telling me that no, I'm not playing this game, Klatt. You can't tell me that if you objectively analyze college football, that Arizona State, if we're doing reputations, Arizona State's not a top 10 team? Hey, listen, I know they lost Booger Face, but,
Booger Face.
I just think he was so overhyped, but it's fine. I understand that they lost Cam Scatteraboo, but did you guys hear Kenny Dillingham today? Oh my God. Like, the guy, if you don't want to murder people for Kenny Dillingham, you're not. Listen to Kenny Dillingham.
Yeah, I mean, polls are always accurate, so I think we should really lean into it.
I mean, that I couldn't have said it better myself. Oh, they're always accurate. Oh yeah, these polls, man, they never get it wrong, right? Like you the sarcasm in his voice.
Yeah, I mean, polls are always accurate, so I think we should really lean into it.
Bro, that is so good. And if you don't want to hit that,
Stay hard.
like, I don't understand. If you don't want to play for Kenny Dillingham, you're not a football player.
And I think, to your point, the PR thing is spot on. I mean, how much ESPN, money is being put into Texas, Ohio State 1-2 matchup, and
Feinbaum lost his shit over this today. Did you guys? And if you didn't, you should go look at it. Paul Feinbaum was talking about how the coaches are using hype for this Texas-Ohio State matchup in 3 weeks here, which, frankly, again, if that doesn't make you tingle a little bit thinking about that, dude, it just moved thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now, this show took a hard left turn. But my point is, no pun intended.
Stay hard.
You can't tell me that you're not excited about Texas-Ohio State. Listen, with all due respect to Columbus, you got an unproven quarterback. You can't have him the second best team in the country, right? And if it were me and I'm looking at this and you said to me, "Hey, Monty, who are the two best teams in the country?" I would say K-State and Boise would be. And I would never say that. I think I would tell you it's Texas and LSU, and you're going to have to fight me on that.
The thing I think what's difficult with LSU is they just didn't do a lot last year. And so you're looking at this year's team and you're like, all right, well, you got your quarterback back, obviously. You got your guys back. Yeah. Like, you're more experienced. And yeah, they should definitely figure into the picture. No question about it. The hard part is again, this conversation, and again, I understand this is what makes college football great. Totally get it.
Yeah.
But this is largely predicated on who do you believe is going to perform when it matters most. And I understand why in the preseason poll, it's got to be Texas and Ohio State, but I'm certainly not having Epstein U number 1 overall. I'm not I'm fine with Texas and Ohio State being the top 2, but I got real reservations about Arizona State not being a top 10 team. I have reservations about how you've got, like Joe Klatt having Utah 25th. Like, don't have them on there at all. Then, if you think it's a ridiculous ranking.
Leave them off.
Yeah.
It is so frustrating to me that we sit here and that you're going to put, and maybe this is just me again, that you're going to put LSU behind Alabama. And you look at what Garrett Nussmeier is as a quarterback. And I mean, what about Harold Perkins? Like, is Harold Perkins just some POS that you picked up off a guardrail at the truck stop? Like,
apparently,
what are we even doing here?
I mean, you'd think so, right? Based on the conversation.
And I'll say this about Miami as well. I understand you're replacing one of the best quarterbacks you've ever had in Cam Ward, who obviously is one of the best quarterbacks in college football last year. But I think you did a pretty nice job there. And I hesitate to say this out loud, but Mario Cristobal feels like he's doing a pretty above average job.
Well, I was going to say that's the indictment. I mean, everyone thinks that, he's a one and done guy because that's kind of who he's been. I mean, so
but Carson Beck is not the worst fallback position you could have.
No.
Right? I mean, I just find it hard to believe that if we're putting a top 10 together, LSU is 9th in the top 10. You're telling me that you have more faith in Ty Simpson at Bama than you do in Garrett Nussmeier in the real Death Valley. You're telling me that Ty Simpson is a better quarterback than Garrett Nussmeier, because what else could it possibly be? You can't tell me that Kalen DeBoer is proven to be somehow a better coach than Brian Kelly. And trust me, again, as somebody who bleeds green here, I hate Brian Kelly. That dude knows how to win every game but a national championship. And he's got the talent. I mean, he's got arguably the best rookie quarterback in the last how many years. He's putting guys in the NFL. He's recruiting. He's portaling. Are you really telling me that LSU deserves to be behind Ty Simpson in Alabama? That does not math to me. Are you really telling me that LSU belongs behind Dante fucking Moore in Oregon, who you have 7th? You're going to make the argument with that roster that LSU is behind Oregon. This is a sales pitch, man. That's all this is. This is a sales pitch. If you get on paper, and I totally understand it, if you get on paper, you cannot tell me that LSU, I'm not even certain. If you look at this poll, I am not even certain that LSU belongs behind, certainly not cock on thigh, certainly not Georgia at this point. Certainly they should be ahead of Notre Dame. Notre Dame we don't have a quarterback. Folks, we don't have a quarterback in South Bend.
Yeah, the problem is, I think what people look at is, if you look at, the last, you look at LSU's schedule from last year, I mean, they just weren't scoring a lot. Go look at their last probably 5 games. I mean, the most they put up 37 against an Oklahoma team in the bowl game. But before that, I mean, you were winning games 24-17. You lost to Florida, that garbage ass Florida team last year. You lost 27-16 to them.
I don't disagree.
The problem is, and again, this is my point. I don't disagree. You have talent. Brian Kelly knows how to win. You got your quarterback back. You have everything you need to win this year, and you should, in my opinion, be ranked higher. But again, the sentiment is, hey, you had some bad some garbage losses at the end of the year last year, and you didn't go to the CFP, and Penn State did, and Ohio State did, and Texas did. And the insane part is so did Notre Dame. And you're behind all those guys, just on premise alone.
Never mind that Garrett Nussmeier threw. Do you guys understand? Do you guys remember the year he had last year? In a year where people said Brian Kelly's offense, Jake, was mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
Their quarterback had 4,000 yards and 29 touchdowns. And how many quarterbacks, and maybe this is the Arch Manning Gunnar Stockton question.
Yes.
How many quarterbacks take a huge step back year over year in college football? When do we see quarterbacks who were 4,000 yards and 29 touchdowns all of a sudden just fall off the face of the earth? You never see that. You don't see that. That almost never happens. Now, does it happen to Ollie Gordon at an Oak State? Yeah, but they are a steaming pile of cow dung.
Yeah.
This is LSU, who's remarkably talented, right? And I look at their 7 deep at wide receiver. They're legitimately 7 wide receivers deep who could start on any team in the country. Mm-hmm. And that includes Ohio State. You look at them, and I say to you, is Xavier Thomas the best wide receiver on your team? And the answer is yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a much better team. Brian Kelly absolutely is. He should give you pause. And we've had this fight on the show.
Yeah, you talk about stepping back. I mean, looking at Nussmeier's numbers from last year, just at a quick glance, I just think with this, he embodies what this team has to be better at this year. Yes, you did throw for a ton of yards, but your big games came against the inferior competition, and then against really good competition, you were solid. You weren't bad, but you didn't have your best games on the biggest stage. And that's what I think this LSU team and staff need to figure out. How do we get how do we play our biggest and best games? In the biggest game, how do we play our best game? Because I agree, most quarterbacks aren't taking some massive step back, right? Typically, you see college quarterbacks, they come in, you're either an arm guy, a pocket guy, and you bomb it down the field, but you got to learn how to run or how to get rid of it faster. Or you're the opposite of that, where you're Jalen Milroe, you run too much, you have a low completion percentage, and you're holding your team back. And Nussmeier is the guy that bombs it down the field. And yes, he can run a little bit. But
my prediction is Garrett Nussmeier throws for 30 touchdowns and 5,000 yards. I think that Trey'Dez Green is probably the best tight end in the country by the time this season's over. And my guess is they'll have a top 20 defense in the country. Because when I look at what Blake Baker did to that defense last year, and they were not nearly as talented, in my opinion, or well coached. I think that was his first year in the as their coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
He went from like the high like 50, 54 to the middle 30s. My guess is they take a jump to the top 20. I just don't see. I don't see the disrespect, and I didn't mean to get into an LSU argument. But
I think LSU embodies the poll. Right? I mean, LSU embodies the issue with the poll.
But so does Clemson. So does the popularity contest.
They're playing in week 1, obviously.
And I was going to say, we're going to settle the matter in week 1 on August 30th, 5:30 on ABC, when LSU heads to Clemson, South Carolina, which is not Death Valley. When LSU heads to Clemson, we're going to figure it out, because they also have to, from Clemson, it's La Tech, Florida, Southeast Louisiana, at Ole Miss, South Carolina, at Vandy, Texas A&M, at Bama, Arkansas, Western Kentucky, at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Their schedule is just a bunch of landmines, but we'll see. I mean, I look at what LSU should be, and I can tell you it's not 9th best team in the country. It's not. And yeah, and Wash, you're right. Brian Kelly is a factor at LSU. There's no question. I'm a Notre Dame fan. Manti Te'o's dead girlfriend did far less damage to the Irish than Brian Kelly did. But I can't say it with a straight face. They matter as the number 1 team has the spot to lose. It should be that way, but someone will make a poll to drive up engagement, so may as well stick with the traditional ones. You're right, because we're all going to be watching, dude. Texas, Ohio State. If you're not excited for that game, just turn off your phone. Like, I don't know how are you not excited for that game? I have no idea.
I mean, legitimately one of the games of the year in the first week of the season. Like,
and again, I point it at Arch Manning. ESPN essentially says that Arch Manning is the most important player in college football. And I'm really curious who agrees with that. Because when I look at the top 15 quarterbacks in college football, according to ESPN, quote, Arch Manning is finally the unquestioned starter at Texas. He's not only the most important signal caller in college football, but Manning is arguably the most important player in the sport in 2025. And I'll say again, and I understand this lit the world on fire when I said it last time. Do you understand that Arch Manning has a chance? Should he stay the next 2 years? And if they win a national championship, he will stay for another year.
Certainly.
If he stays at Texas for the next 2 seasons, he has a chance to be the best quarterback in the history of the state of Texas. The entire history, the long, storied tradition of Texas football. And I don't mean UT like the Longhorns. I mean football in the state of Texas. If Arch Manning wins a national championship and stays the next 2 years, I think it's going to be tough for him not to just be a machine of cash. Just a rectal ATM machine is what Arch Manning will.
Yes.
Length and girth.
He's got it.
I mean, can you even imagine that? Kenneth Maynor for $10. Placing BYU on upset alert September 20th at East Carolina. Bro, I don't even think it's upset alert. Having to fly 2,000 miles east to Greenville in that stadium with 50,000 Pirates in attendance will be tough. ECU better than 8 wins last year. BYU is in a very dangerous position because their defense is going to be really, really good. Really good. And my belief is they will not be able to move the football this year. I don't think that BYU, and I'm curious if BYU fan, if you go back and watch the tape on Jake Retzloff last year, do you know how many critical incidents he handled last year? Do you know how many times? And a lot of them were just these stupid little nothing throws. And then he got rolled up, and then he got hit, and then he got, never mind going to Dallas because we saw the name on the front of the SMU uniform and beating wholesale Mustang ass. But do you guys understand the Oklahoma State throw? Do you guys know how big that moment was? Do you understand how many plays Jake Retzloff made just by taking 4, 5, 6 steps outside the tackle box? Do you know how many times Jake Retzloff broke the pocket and was in no man's land? I think 3, maybe 4. Just didn't make that mistake anymore. Do you know how many times he just turned left and threw the ball outside and went for a pick 6? Never. Didn't make that mistake anymore. What Jake Retzloff did last year was take this big jump forward in an offense that refused to consistently run the football to help him throw the football. Where you had dog shit play calling and a lot of really critical moments at the end. Their play calling, and I've looked at almost every play, their play calling at the end of halves last year was criminal.
Because it's garbage.
BYU's play calling at the end of the half last year was tragic in so many instances. Well, now Jake Retzloff, who, in my opinion, was a safety net in a lot of those situations. And when he needed to be, he was accurate with lethality. Like the guy, when he hit Darius Lassiter right on the 5, like, I mean, right in the...
Beautiful.
There's not a quarterback in the pipeline or on the roster who can make that throw at BYU. They will lose probably 5 games this year simply because I don't think they're going to be able to move the ball. And so you're talking about going to ECU. ECU's the least of their problems, in my opinion. I am really worried about BYU's offense this year. And I think a lot of people are getting excited and, oh, well, the tape in practice, Monty. The tape in practice is meaningless. It means nothing. What I'm worried about is, what am I going to see on paper in Provo against Stanford? What am I going to see on paper at Folsom Field? Or what am I going to see on tape after Folsom Field on September 27th? I'm going to see a 1-3 football team.
Yep.
That's what I'm going to see on tape. Because I think they're going to beat Portland State. They should. If you can score 21 points, you should beat Stanford. But I think there's a chance they lose to Stanford at ECU. I think the ECU game is, I don't know how you go there and win. I don't, and we don't have it's TBD right now. We don't have a time for that game yet. But I think that's going to be tough. And I think when you look at that game at Folsom Field against Colorado, that's the game that really worries me.
Yeah.
Because Folsom is a tough place to play. I think you look at Colorado early, and Colorado early is Georgia Tech, Delaware, at Houston, Wyoming. They're going to be 4-0 going into the BYU game. And I have real reservations. Much to this point right here, I have real reservations that BYU is going to be able to go to East Carolina, go to Greenville and win a game. I think that's exactly right. Retzloff was a pre-snap read quarterback. He would struggle to see the field sometimes when he needed to update the plays that didn't flow the pre-snap read. Oh, there's no doubt that there are times I would probably put it at 20, 30 snaps. And I think a lot of it was red zone, where the pre-snap read didn't diagnose the disguise, and he would have to just burn that play down. He'd have to burn that play down. But there were also a lot of plays where he read it immediately when the ball was snapped and did the exact right thing. I think that his growth from September to like middle of October was
sensational.
I mean, he just played great football. And I think this year he would have been significantly better than he was last year. I think this would have been he would have been a high second round pick. And if we got crazy and because I think frankly, if they're able to score 30 points, they should never lose a game. If they put 30 points on the scoreboard, this BYU defense will never give up 30 points. I think they're going to be that good. It's just a matter of, will they be able to move the football? And my belief right now, Boyd, is I don't think they'll be able to move the football. I really don't. Tulane is the second best team in Louisiana. Could be. Wasikowski, BYU, Texas Tech fall out of the top 25 after week 3. I don't think that's even possible. I think you look at Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech has a really good run up to the Utah game. They're at home all 3 weeks: Pine Bluff, Kent State, and Oregon State. Oregon State's not talented enough to go to Tortillaville and win. You're not rolling up to Lubbock. You're not rolling into West Texas and getting a win. Not 1:30 in the afternoon on national TV. That's not happening. I think the biggest question is who comes out of Salt Lake City on the 21st of September more intact, Utah or Texas Tech? Because I think these two are going to run into each other like two locomotives. And I think they know that they both, you look at BYU's schedule, what is that? They open with UCLA primetime. They have Cal Poly, and then they have Wyoming on the road in Laramie. Their first two should be pretty easy. That game in Laramie, we're going to learn a lot about how ready Utah is to take on Texas Tech when they go to Laramie.
Well, and I also think Texas Tech, your first road game being Salt Lake, that's going to be a primetime game. And, we can all sit here and pretend about Pine Bluff and Kent State and Oregon State. Utah is the first real serious threat to beat you on that schedule. And it's your first road game of the year. And I just, you talk about who's going to come out of that game healthier. I mean, I'm inclined to say Texas Tech will be healthier coming into the game just because of who they don't play in the first 3 games. But you can't honestly sit here and think they're going to win that game against Utah.
I don't think I am trying to, because I've heard so many fans be like, "Shut up, fat ass. We don't want to hear about Utah. Utah sucks. Cam Rising's back for his 17th season." Okay. Listen, I'm wearing pink today. I'm happy to be, less enthused or excited about Utah. You don't want to be here when they win this conference. You don't want to be here when they go to the conference championship game. You don't want to be here when they go to the college football playoff. Because as difficult as Utah's schedule is, they go Texas Tech at West Virginia. That's the trap game.
Mm-hmm.
You come out of Laramie, you go home to Texas Tech, and then you got to hop on a jet and go to coal country. Dude, there ain't enough Mountain Mama there to help them feel good.
No.
And then did I mention they turn around and come back and play Arizona State, and then they got to go to Provo to play BYU? Oh, and then they got to host Colorado, and then they get Cincinnati, and then they got to go to Baylor, and then they got to host K-State, and then they got to go to Lawrence. Like, Utah's schedule is absolutely ball-breaking. I don't know who hates the Utes besides every fan, but somebody in the Big 12 office ain't got no love for the Utes, because that is a really difficult schedule.
Though. It's difficult, no doubt, but they have the goods.
They do, and if you're a championship caliber club, you got to win that.
Yeah.
Bailey Dietrich, oh my God, here we go again. Oak State James, does this mean you're an ECU fan? What did he say? I saw ECU Stadium last week. Nobody cares. Go listen. Oak State James has a YouTube channel, I believe it is. You can follow him on social media where he DMs Jake every day. They send they're full Matt Weiss back and forth with each other. So you can go follow Oak State James. He does stadium reviews, and it's and I will say it's a really high quality video. It's a cell phone through a chain link fence that's got a green cover on it. But that's fine. He'll show you why administration buildings that players never set foot in make the difference in recruiting like nobody's business. The Boneyard is what they call their stadium. A lot of cool pirate stuff around that. Are you sure
you're a big bone guy, huh?
Are you sure?
Stay hard.
That you didn't mean Raymond James Stadium? Are you sure?
Yeah, big bone
guy. A lot of
guy,
pirates,
huh?
a big pirate ship back there.
Yeah.
James just loves to tell you, hey, man, I saw them. Now, Monty, you're not going to be happy with this. I saw BYU measuring an IPF on the upper deck to cover those mountains. I saw it with my own two eyes. I was eating a cougar tail, and I don't mean the donut. And,
James, you had this coming, dude.
Probably ought to, but this should just probably move on.
Macaque.
I'll likely be at the ECU BYU game. That place will be nuts. BYU better hope it's not a night game. That won't go well with the stadium full of drunken pirates. Yeah. Johnny Tepp is going to throw out the opening, or he's going to sing
he's going to roll up in the Black Pearl, and then, he's going to jump overboard throwing out the first coin toss.
Oh, my God. Mike Smith. James goes around and does stadium reviews. He has a channel for it. Didn't know that.
Man,
look at Mike
idea.
Smith, new avatar. Look at the new
Whoa,
pick. He's got
nice.
the West Virginia lid. Nice.
Yay!
I like it. We all will remember the 21st night of September with what transpires at Rice Eccles, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have no idea the importance of that game. I think it'll have a chance to be the game of the year in the Big 12. I think it's going to be that good. You got a guy like Baron Morton going up against that defense.
But I don't think anyone thinks about Baron Morton. That's the problem.
That's a problem.
My point yesterday.
That's a problem.
Like, people just forget that this dude can sling the rock all over the field.
It's pretty rectal.
Yeah, it is.
It's brutal that people don't think
fan,
about Baron Morton. I agree with that 100%. Oak State James.
Dude.
Mike, I was shocked as to how good East Carolina Stadium is.
Sucking a ding dong.
But if you are driving through Greenville, expect to have to stop at every freaking light in town. It's awful. Well, there you go. I mean, it must have taken you like 5 hours to get back to the rectory, huh?
I mean, honestly, you should do a video on the infrastructure of the whole town at this point, Like, maybe they could do maybe they could do like an Oak State James freeway into the back door of the rectory, so you can drive your Honda Civic that's not an SI that you wanted to be, an M2, up to the door.
That you wanted to be an M2. Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves and forgive James for driving a what did
Honda
he say?
Civic
It's a 25-year roof and a Japanese shitbox out front.
Yeah.
Brother.
Only Oak State James rolls up to the rectory in a Honda Civic and is like, hey, man, did you guys see I glued an SI badge on the back? And look at that wing I put on the trunk. Looks just like a WRX.
Did you guys hear the glass pack when I was rolling up, Monty?
Glass pack? I'm catless, bro. That's Oak State James. And let me tell you something. The Civic, I dropped some 91 octane in there. I pulled those cats off and sold them to a dude down the street for like $7. And then I just went and ripped the trunk lid off of a WRX STI. Dude,
Facial recognition.
We're talking about the Millennium Falcon over here, man. The what? Millennium Falcon. I don't know what that is. It's the ship from Star Wars, the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, don't you know what that is, Monty?
You wouldn't, because my Civic's faster because it's got an SI badge on it.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Kane Urin, BYU 10-2, Utah 8-4.
I'm sure.
Okay, K, if BYU goes 10-2, I will buy Big Daddy Magic multiple Buffalo Bills long sleeve red shirts that he begs for that I apparently have done something to piss him off. He hasn't DM'd me any videos lately.
No nudes?
So no nudes lately at all. Monty being a hater now. What?
What?
Michael? Why would you? Me?
Come on.
It's Pink Shirt Day on the show.
I mean, honestly, how could you say something so just egregious and hurtful? And I mean, come on, dude.
What?
Like, what are we doing?
Erroneous. Yeah, erroneous. 100%. Welcome to the nightmare. James, does ECU also have a canyon explosion when they score? A cannon explosion? Hey, man, why was Baker Mayfield at ECU's field? That was Raymond James Stadium. No? Okay, maybe I was. Oh, there he is. I summoned the Overlord. Timothy.
Timothy.
Victor, October 10th, I sent you my flight information if you want to sit by me. Nah, I'm good. If BYU wins 10 games, Big Daddy Magic, I'll buy you Buffalo Bills red long sleeve t-shirts. And you can use them as diapers if you want. Like, it's totally
The biggest load that we've seen.
Ever. Bailey Dietrich via the poop deck in the East Carolina, or is it a booby trap? Okay.
I'm not sure what that means, bro, but
rated ARG. See, get him. ARG.
See, it's like a
pirate
thing. Yeah.
ARG.
Yeah. Right.
See, I did a pirate voice, Mike Smith. Is that better?
Mike Smith.
It's booby trap. That's what I said. Goonies. You jerk. That's how I imagine Mike Smith talks. It's Goonies. You jerk. Just do it. And then Mike's going to say jerk and go back out in the backyard with the hose and the scrub brush and clean the rest of the cold. Yeah, jerk it. Dude that abides, Connor Stallions could use a new stadium scouting gig, James. He could. You ought to hit him up on Venmo. Gabriel.
Steeler guy.
Look at this UCF versus Jacksonville State, only $5. Man, are we going to be so bad this year? $5 tickets. I'm going to try and drag my wife back to Notre Dame, but she hates Catholic people. So I don't think that she will go to a Notre Dame.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
Could be wrong. You know, that or she'll be out gallivanting around the globe. She's going to like Amsterdam on one of those highfalutin Viking River tours with her, with like her like gigolo boyfriend. Ooh.
I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
All right, Wasikowski, benefit of having East Lansing and South Bend an hour away. Don't need to go further for good football games like James. There you go. A couple more, then we gotta get rolling because we gotta get the prize picks. Which, geez, Louise, I don't even want to turn on the Cub game today. Can I just talk about the Cubs real quick?
You didn't win on prize picks last night.
Fuck no. Did I win on? I didn't. No. Why would you you're such a hater.
Well, because we talked about the picks and my pick actually did well. I went 3-3.
Right. I went against you. I did not go with you. Which is why I lost, because usually going with you is a bad thing. No, right. Chaboy went 0 of 3. Max Fried.
You took last now, didn't you?
Under 5. Max Fried, I had less than 6. He got 7. Prick. Shohei Ohtani, 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Yeah. Too busy gambling. Is that why you couldn't give me 1.5 more? Oh, Tyler Glasnow. Ooh, on a reduced fare. Shut up.
Hey, Soroka, whatever his name is.
Okay. See,
less than 5.5.
You do this stuff.
I don't need to know dude's name. I just know that he's mid.
Yeah, and then he left in the second inning with a shoulder injury. Good job, Jed Hoyer.
Hey.
Did you guys see? Okay, so it's the 7th inning. 2 outs. The Cubs have the tying run on third base. Dansby Swanson's at the dish. Working in AB. Hits a slow ground ball. Dansby Swanson hauling ass down the first base line. Beats it out. Ball game's tied. Cubs go on to win. Oh, wait. No, that's actually not what happened because Manti Te'o's girlfriend's dead. No. Dansby Swanson didn't step on first base when running to first base. Because, to be safe, you got to step on the base, Dansby, you prick. He missed it by like a foot and then tries to drag his foot across. It doesn't work that way. It's called instant replay, bud. Yeah, thank you. Cubs lose.
Morty's got Cubs PTSD.
So let me get this right. You go and get Mike Soroka immediately on the disabled list. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't his first move. That's because his first move was to give up a bomb and then claim his shoulder hurt, and now he's on the injured list. And then I'm on Twitter last night with all the jackwagon Cubs fans we're experts. Yeah. One of these jerk-offs was like, oh, well, name me one player who could have turned this lineup around tonight. Eugenio Suarez. Well, did you see his weekend? Let me get this right. Eugenio Suarez for the now Seattle Mariners, who's got 36 bombs and 85 RBIs. Nah, fuck that guy. You don't need him in your lineup to
he's Garbo.
You don't want the intimidation factor where maybe, I know, let's get crazy and be real baseball executives. Maybe if we slot him behind Pete Crow Armstrong, maybe Pete gets an extra fastball and he breaks out of whatever the hell slump this is. Maybe, I know, let's get crazy. Put him in front of Kyle Tucker, right? Or put him after Kyle Tucker and just in front of PCA, and maybe Tucker and PCA, your two best offensive players, maybe they each see an extra fastball. Yeah. No, but instead, you cheap diamond cutting F, you didn't trade for anybody. You didn't trade for anybody. You held on to your money like you always do. So the Cubs lost last night. They're 3 out in the Central, and we're pretty much not going to the playoffs because of you, Jed Hoyer. Oh, but at least you got paid. No, I don't feel better. I'm such a bad, and I think my wife has lost her want to watch Cubs games with me. I agree she belongs in the kitchen, but I flipped on the Cubs game last night. And my wife, who is sitting comfortably next to me, and we're having a good night, and we're talking about the shitty air quality in Salt Lake City because it's killing people. And, we're just having a conversation. I turn on the Cubs game, and what does she do? Goes into the kitchen and does the dishes. She'd rather do the dishes than watch the Cubs. Thanks for that. Thanks, Jed. You ruined my marriage. Thank you.
That was a masterpiece of dog shit.
Did I mention it's the Cincinnati Reds who are just not good? It's the Cincinnati Reds. Who wants to bet any chance, and I'm probably going too far now, but any chance tonight, Shota Imanaga, just, I don't know, don't give up a home run. Maybe let's get crazy. How about a quality start, Shota? How about all I'm asking for is 6 runs, 3 earned or less, or 6 innings, 3 earned or less. More strikeouts than walks. Can we do that? I got your damn bobblehead sitting over here in the studio. Maybe I could just rub its head. Not that one.
Stay hard.
But maybe I could just pat Shota on the head and he'll probably not. Probably not. Because the Brewers, who seemingly can't do anything wrong, like losing a game, they've got the Braves, and the Brewers are going to throw Peralta, who somehow, you explain it to me because I don't understand it. He's 12-5 with a 3.08 ERA. Freddie MFing Peralta is 12-5 for the Brewers. Better than any pitcher the Cubs have. Could not. This guy's older than dirt. This is year 27 for Freddie Peralta, and he's 12-5. He's never, this is the best year the guy's had ever. This is his best ERA going all the way back to 21. And now somehow he just doesn't give up earned runs anymore. Does not give up earned runs anymore. Okay. I'll see my way out. I give up. Okay. There you go. I feel worse.
Yeah. I understand. I understand.
Mike Smith says she's going to take her bike to Amsterdam. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Big Daddy Magic. Now, player, I'll videotape that, and I will be at BYU next week at camp motivating them. Hey, can you put me on your car insurance if I get a picture of AJ? No, because you're not a BYU fan.
Yeah, stop being a poser, dude.
I revoke the offer now because
hold on. He's got a Danny Ainge picture as his avatar now. Dude, you're going full poser mode. What happened? You can't
they
talk
got the minivan back
about
today.
The Bills?
The Jazz traded for
the Chrysler Town and Country. We get it, dude. We get it. Oh, the Jazz are going big game hunting, only to trade away their best players except for one, so they can say they extended them, and now they're bringing back a fan favorite, so everyone will just forget their garbage.
George Niang is back.
Come on, bro.
And you're going to BYU? How come you're not getting a picture of George Niang?
Oh, I know why you're going to BYU, because Ryan Smith, that's the team he's actually supporting, not the Utah Jazz.
And then there's
BYU.
There's Oak State James trying to talk baseball. I'd be concerned if I were a Cub fan, 5-5 in their last 10. Bro, they're a 500 team. Like, I want to say they're 20. In their last 60, they're like 500. Let's put it that way. Like,
What the fuck up?
their pitching is tragic.
Yeah,
Kenneth
it's not
Maynard.
about the last 10, bro.
Hopefully the Reds won't do what they always do and choke away the wild card. Ken, you shut your mouth.
Yeah, this is a family program.
The Cubs are not getting the wild card, so you're probably right. If the Reds don't go, I'm so convinced. As a Cubs season, I'm a Cubs season ticket holder. For those of you that there's 78,000 people watching the show right now. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Cubs season ticket holder, both in Mesa at spring training and in Chicago at Wrigley. And I am probably beaten into submission at this point. Cubs are not going to the postseason.
No.
One, I would have to go back by myself because, again, my wife is going, her and Don Julio are heading to Amsterdam to have like crazy passionate love on a Viking River cruise.
Length and girth.
I didn't get invited. So, Jake now lives off in the far Northeast with some like Yeti Saskatchewan looking bro. I can't remember what they call him. Not Bigfoot. Whatever. The big hairy Chewbacca looking MFers. So
Yetis?
he can't go.
Is that a Yeti? I don't know.
Sasquatch. Like he's up there like humping a Sasquatch. So I'm going to wind up sitting alone at Wrigley Field. Maybe me and my guy Greg Hawkins can go together because we DM
Where are
every
we at in
night.
society
Yeah,
today?
we DM every night about how shitty the Cubs are.
Oh, you guys DM, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, we do. The difference is he has sex with women and he's got a child. He's not interested in me.
Well, and he doesn't drive a Honda Civic, which is different.
And put SI badges on it. Well, at least you're not a Yankee fan, Monty. It's been a train wreck ever since the deadline. Williams blew another save, bro. Aaron Boone's not the problem. I'm telling you now. Way too much emotion and energy being wasted on boring ass baseball. Mikey, Maury Alvarez. The air quality in Florida is amazing, bro. My wife is leaving for work this morning, and we're out on the back porch while I neglect to tell her that we have a huge wasp nest in a down tube of our porch. And whatever. Anyway, you can't even see. We have these beautiful things called the Wasatch Mountains. Can't even see them. The air quality is so bad, you can't even see them. I mean, we're out here like vaping and walking down the street. It's that bad. I was at 2 of the Dodgers-Reds games in Cincinnati, and it was packed. Reds fans deserve better. Cubs fans, put Cubs, C-U-B-S, Cub together. You all deserve better. Timothy. We should double date, me and Mamacita, you and your lovely wife. That's never going to happen.
What?
You buy BY. I'll make reservations at the steakhouse. Let's do it around October 27th. Is AJ DeBanza going to allow you to do that? Here's a question. Does Victor Wembanyama know you're cheating on him with AJ DeBanza?
Sucking a ding.
Legitimate question. Tigers got the comeback last night. They did. And again, this was my argument, Wasikowski, on the old tweet machine last night. Charlie Morton, who is not a good pitcher. He is, or not a great pitcher. He's a solid veteran. Cub idiot is trying to argue with me that Charlie Morton's not an upgrade to what we have on the roster. I'm like, dude, you gave up nothing to get Charlie Morton. Nothing. You gave up nothing. All right. Settle down. Let's get Prize Picks in here. Yes, I am irrational about the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fine with that. Prize Picks, America's favorite daily fantasy game, except when I lose. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Monty to open up a new Prize Picks account. The winning streak has come to an end. The bounce back from the winning streak that came to an end has come to an end. So we got to get some karma tonight. And my guy Shota. This is a mistake. I'm emotional. I feel like I'm having hot flashes.
Uh-huh.
I might be ovulating. I can't tell. I don't know. It's emotional. I should not pick the Cubs tonight.
No,
but I'm going to take Shota for more than 5 strikeouts. I feel as though that is a solid pick. What do you think about Shota 5 strikeouts, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely reasonable. I just would stay away from anything to do with hits given up or anything like that. Like strikeouts is pretty reliable, but
What do you mean hits given up or anything like that?
Like I would stay away
from
from
anything. What kind of redonkulous thing is that?
Anything related to the opposition hitting baseballs. Stay away from that because you don't know. It's super unpredictable. What?
Stay away from anything having to do with the opposition hitting baseballs.
Yeah. Yep. So like Garrett Crochet, looking at strikeouts. 7.
What kind of thing is that to say? Well, I love the Cubs tonight. Just stay away from anything having to do with the Reds hitting a baseball because you and I both know they're going yard. You're just an a-hole. Why say it? Why say it? That's the thing that I don't understand is why say it? Because you're a hater.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you say. I think tonight's the night the Cubs break out. And my feeling is that did you guys see the home run that Kyle Schwarber hit?
Dude, iconic.
I mean, the grand slam that Schwarbinator hit is unbelievable. And I am going to go, actually, hang on. I am going to go, they're in the first. So let me see what numbers on Schwarbinator can I get. Bryce Harper, 1.5 hits. That's all they'll give me on Kyle Schwarber is half a hit. That's a bummer. That is absolutely a bummer. I hate that. So I'm out on that game. What else you like tonight, Jake?
I like Ohtani, more than 1.5 hits on a demon. I like that a lot. God, not a great game last night, but bounce back game tonight, I think. And I actually really do like the Garrett Crochet line, 7 strikeouts. He's pretty good for that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I think I think you have to go hits, runs, and RBIs with Rangers and Yankees. I'm not quite ready to jump on the Aaron Judge bandwagon. I think if you look at Cody Bellinger has been red hot lately, so I'm going to go more than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And then I think I would agree with you. I think you probably, on some level, have to go Shohei. Because I don't see a whole lot more than that. I just don't see a whole lot more tonight. You guys know it when you start looking at Prize Picks. Kansas City, Boston's an interesting game. Toronto and Colorado, that game is, I think that's in Toronto. And I think you start looking at hit, runs, and RBIs. And that game, Toronto is just raking, dude. Like you start.
Yeah.
I just have not. I don't know if I jinxed Shohei or what. But he is not put out for me. And it is St. Louis, and St. Louis is terrible.
Yeah.
Miles Michaelis is pitching. I mean, I think you're right. I think Shohei's probably the way to go. Max Muncy's back in the lineup. 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs out of Shohei against Michaelis. I think I'll take it. Okay. So here's what I have. I have Shota for more than 5 strikeouts, Bellinger for more than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, and the Gambler for more than 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. 20 to win 110.
No.
Prize Picks. Download the app. Use the promo code Monty to open up a new Prize Picks account. You deposit $5, they'll give you 50 more instantly. Let's see. Charlie Casado, our newest member. Charlie.
Oh, okay. You're going to have to give me a second here. Let's see. Going over here. All right.
Charlie, appreciate that. Welcome to the Fam Bam, my friend. Thank you for being here. Who else we got on the comments? Jay Brandon, moving to Louisiana has screwed up my Prize Picks. Make it happen.
Yeah, maybe you should move to a different state.
Dude that abides. Eric, he should come join the Lions bandwagon, right? What do you mean? No team in Morgantown to cheer for, Mike Smith. Oh, he's got West Virginia. Come on, man. It's all about ball sack. That could be. Noel, man, I came back to Florida. The humidity almost killed me.
It's so rough.
Dude, my wife will not move to Florida. One, I think she knows that if I move to Florida, it's over. I will break up with her and marry a golf course. I think she is well aware of that. Hanging out with Sasquatch in Saskatchewan. I think that's very part of it.
Right.
Gabriel, being a Chicago fan must suck. Thanks for that. Bulls will be the 10th seed yet again. Bears are the Bears and the Cubs are average, dude. Although we talked about this yesterday, the reaction that we're seeing out of Caleb Williams and that football team today was exactly what you want. You have guys getting after it. The Chicago media cannot stop talking about how physical practice was today and how active the coaches are on the field and how good the defense looks. And Ben Johnson talking about, because Caleb Williams has had his fair share of struggles, there's no doubt, but talking about how much work Caleb Williams is putting in, how much time he's spending with the wide receivers, like all the things you should be hearing right now, you're hearing that. So I have hope. I don't have a lot of hope. I don't know that the Bears, and like I said before the season started, I don't even think the Bears are a playoff team at this point. But I have hope that J.J. McCarthy looks like ass in Minnesota, and he does. I think it's Packers and Lions in this division, and you have to lean Packers because I just think the Lions have had so much tumult and turnover.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Maury Alvarez. But has Cody hit it 21 times in the last month? Dude, do you guys joke with me about you? I'm telling you, you got to empty the chamber 21 times a month. That's what the doctors say. That's what the doctors say will keep the prostate happy 21 times a month. And trust me, as somebody that, I mean, have you guys seen the definition in these forearms?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes,
the point
man.
is you should. Maybe Dela Cruz will go yard. Are you just trying to say hurtful things now? Is that what it is? Cardinals have the Dodgers number for what it feels like my whole life. Well, we watched Miles Mikolas just give up, Mrs. Monty and I on the 4th of July. I think he was pitching batting practice for the Cubs. Michael Busch almost hit a ball over the scoreboard in right field off of him. Like, you know, the natural. It's going to also hurt when Ellie goes to the Dodgers. Wow.
Yeah, seriously.
Wow. That is amazing. Dude that abides. No way someone from West Virginia can pull for the Titans. If they want to shed the keeping it in the family stereotype, nobody wants to be Cleveland or Cincinnati fans. Either Indy or Detroit. No. Here's my question. Did you hear the news that Shedeur Sanders is starting the preseason opener for the Browns? Is that good news or bad news for Shedeur?
Bad news. They're going to trade him.
We'll see. What did the NFL do today? The NFL is banning ammonia and smelling salts before and during NFL games. Is this for real? Is this for real? The NFL, and apparently George Kittle lost his mind over it. Oh, why? Somebody help me understand why the NFL does what the NFL do. George Kittle attempted to, quote, air a grievance Tuesday that the NFL informed teams that it now has prohibited the use of ammonia on smelling salts before and during NFL games. What is this about now?
This is weird.
I mean, I get it. Because the 49ers use more smelling salts than any team in the NFL. Apparently Kittle was upset about a memo. Teams are, quote, prohibited from providing or supplying ammonia in any form. That includes capsules, inhalers, ammonia in a cup, and any form of smelling salts. It applies to the entirety of a game, including pregame, halftime, and in the locker room and on the sidelines. And in the memo, the NFL says, quote, in 2024, the FDA issued a warning to companies that produce commercially available ammonia inhalants, as well as to consumers about who purchase it. The FDA noted potential negative effects from ammonia that masks certain neurological signs and symptoms, including potential signs of a concussion. Now we understand it. Kittle went on to say, quote, I honestly just came up here to air a grievance. Our team got a memo today that smelling salts and ammonia packets were made illegal in the NFL, and I've been distraught all day. I already missed them. Okay, so let me get this right. We're in a league where part of your pension includes brain trauma. Okay. What guys will do to stay on the football field, it never ceases to amaze me.
It's incredible, dude.
That is wild to me. Monty owes a ribeye. Hello, Monty owes a ribeye. Monty looking tan. Yeah, well, I try. My wife doesn't let me golf anymore because now I drive a multi-million-dollar BMW. I'm not allowed to spend money on golf. You know.
Yeah.
But good to see you, Monty owes a ribeye. Monty strengthening his forearm to Caleb Williams.
No question about it, dude.
Night. Every night.
Are you asking for a friend? Are you gonna paint one fingernail each Sunday this season in an effort to support your guy? What?
You know, you say things.
It's a morale booster.
Don't fuck.
And I just don't know, where do you come up with this stuff?
Oh, I don't know. All the pictures where Buddy has his nails painted constantly.
Yeah, he's also got his face crushed into his mom's cleavage. Do you see me going down to Southern California and like sticking my nose in my mom's rack? No. So he paints his nails. Now, the only nail I would paint, Jake, is this one right here. Like, what are you talking about? You don't even like.
Are you going to fly the Bears flag this year?
You don't even. You shut your mouth. You don't even have a football team. You know?
Yeah, because I'm not allowed to be a Bears fan.
Because you're not a Bears fan.
I'm from Chicago.
Big Pontiff. After Eber sucks not coaching for a season and a half, any coach has to be raved over. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. I would agree with that. There's no doubt. Kenneth Maynor, an MLB team in North Carolina, is long overdue. Maybe we get an expansion team in Raleigh or Charlotte. Charlotte has been such a hit or miss professional sports market, though. Like Charlotte has tried for how long now? And I just don't know that it'll happen. Charlie Casoto, try being in Denver with a beautiful MLB season and having the worst baseball team of all time.
That's a different level of garbage, dude.
Yeah, you guys are so bad. But Denver's such a good sports market. Dude, I'm telling you, Eagle Vale Golf Club is the best golf course I've played this year. And I shot one of the best rounds I've ever played at that golf course. Back in late June. That was amazing. And then the next day I couldn't hit water from a boat. Casado, I read that one already. Chad Perling, BYU needs to be running back you for 1 year. Pound the line, give the ball to LJ Martin. Well, and I said that last year, man. Like LJ Martin's a hugely important guy on that team.
But Roderick just refuses to run the football. I don't understand it.
Yeah. The Wolf, I already missed them. Bro, that's an addiction. Seriously. Why are, and this goes back to guys packing their foreskin with Zin things, right? I've never understood this. Like, what would compel you to either pack with Zin or just be addicted to ammonia pouches? Like, do you really need that much of a wake up? Because I'm telling you, when we used to work with the Grizzlies, the hockey team here in Salt Lake, bro, you get near one of those ammonia packs, like those little,
and it just blasts you.
Dude, you're dead. I don't even know how they survive. It's crazy. Maury, so don't pregame with smelling salts, just pregame with something else. Yeah, no, not going to do it. Monty Ribeye, I'll golf with you. Hey, dude, Jake doesn't want to golf with me anymore. I'm so bad he moved away. You know.
I mean, Monty Ribeye, are you a medium steak guy, or you like it, hockey puck style? Just super well done and, burned.
Yeah. Okay. Delaric. I'm a medium guy all the way.
Yeah.
If I'm ordering a steak, it's good so that can get traded of that disaster of a season that is coming to Cleveland. Oh, Shador starting the preseason game. Gotcha. The natural, the Browns will suck, and then I need the Jaguars to suck to get 2 top 5 picks so we can botch both those picks. Wow.
That's right.
Where's Baker Mayfield? I'm a Browns fan. Browns fans are still so tweaked over Baker Mayfield not being a Cleveland Brown. It's remarkable. Monty, you should fly the Bears flag in the studio. Stand with your team.
Well, now that you're an ECU fan, I'm sure that you're going to have yellow and purple and an eye patch and,
James, only you. The natural, that's wild. Yeah, dude, go Google search it. I am not making that up. Bros packed. Wasn't it the Norwegians, I think, that did it?
I think.
That packed Zin, the nicotine pouch things.
Yeah.
They packed them in their foreskin and anuses because they said it was direct,
direct injection.
Direct, straight to the veins.
Yeah.
Quicker absorption. Like, that's disgusting. What are you doing? Jesus, I forgot about packing Zin in there. Yeah, exactly. Jesus did not do that, by the way. Monty, you should take a page out of James's playbook, fly a Bears flag and a Packers flag in your office. I would vomit before I did that. Rock and rant. Wait, I just jumped in.
Whoa.
Maybe I need to hit the ammonia pouch. I don't know. Wait, I just jumped in the first Dave Aranda show.
Macaque.
Like,
Wall Street.
Oh my God, Rock and Rant, good to see you. Mike Smith, I go away to pop out a log and come back to packing foreskin talk. Exactly.
Why are you not
right.
bringing us with, dude? What
Exactly.
what the hell is that?
Monty Ribeye says medium. Absolutely, medium all day long. Medium steak is the way to go. Thank you. Kittle gonna come out looking like Tony Montana in Scarface. Tony Montana. The only thing I got in this life is my name and my balls.
And my likeness.
And stuff. And pay me. Gabriel, medium well is my go-to steak order. Ooh.
I can't do medium well, bro.
Can you put ranch on a steak?
Not at a steakhouse, no.
Now there's rules about where.
Yes.
As long as you're not in public.
Yes.
You can do whatever you want.
Dude, you're not going to seriously be the guy that's like, hey, little Bob the server, can you give me some ranch for this steak?
Well, why is that offensive? It's not like I'm asking him for like, what does everybody else do? Like, well, A1 steak sauce, shut up. Right? Like, no. That's an insult. But you give me a little ranch, you give me a little, yes, I'm ketchup on a hot dog guy. Oh, man, you guys. I wanted so badly to have a Costco hot dog over the weekend. Oh, I said, God damn. I didn't do it. The pirate guy, James. Arrgh.
Yeah.
Exactly right. I am not an ECU fan. Yes, you are. The town is terrible.
Oh, now that town is terrible.
Greenville's a scumbag town. But let me just recap everybody. You call Greenville terrible, and you're a fan of Stillwater, Oklahoma. That doesn't
No.
math. Yeah, that doesn't math. I had to stop 9 of 12 lights just to get to the stadium because you drive a Civic.
Yeah, who are you? Cock on thigh? You want an airport right next to the parking lot? Like, what's
That right?
the deal, dude?
Bro, don't drive a Civic and you can actually, make the light. Just saying. You're going to, James, you're going to figure out what turbo is all about. You're going to figure it out.
Honestly, I'd start stroking guys.
I'm saying. Charlie used to live in Eagle Vale. So many better golf courses there, bro. It's unbelievable. I can't bring myself, Charlie, to pay the Beaver Creek price to play at Beaver Creek, but it looks amazing. I think it's $295 per person. The greens fee at Beaver Creek is $295. I'm not paying that. I'm not. Already read that one, Johnny. Zyn was the first direct-to-consumer content we talked about on the show, I believe it was. Montana, exactly. Joe Montana.
Yeah.
Isn't that painful? Why would guys do that, bro? I don't know. I can't believe that it. I want to hear a tape because I don't want to be a fly on the wall in that room. I want to hear a recording of the Norwegian dudes standing around. And I imagine they're all like 6'2", 150-pound, ripped, muscle-bound. So like, let's say 6'2", 175, and just cut up, shredded dudes, blonde hair, blue eyes, probably swinging like they're Big Ben. Like, what am I going to do with that thing? Man, look at that thing over there. Why don't you pack that thing full of Zyn pouches? Like, I want to know how that came up. Somebody explain it to me, how that came up. Well, no, I don't want to put it on my joint, but you want to talk about the rectory with Oak State James, shove them up there like in mass.
Yeah, that's
I need to know.
Combo, Monty.
I need to know how that happened. Eric Wasikowski, medium, no A1 sauce. Thank you.
Oh, wow, man.
Thank you. Maury, truffle garlic butter on steak. I'm not going to argue. Seriously, you guys are discussing how to cook a steak and how to cook a steak interchangeably.
Yeah.
Hide the kids.
Yeah, big meat show here,
Rock and rant. Not everybody understands that. If they burn your steak, you can use ranch.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay. I used to get them well done. Now it's medium rare. As far as putting something on your steak, put what you want on it. F those who complain about it. I'm paying for it. I want my shrimp. I'm a 4 shrimp on a petite filet guy now. I am no longer a New York strip kind of guy. I love it, but it's just too many calories.
It's just too much meat,
It is. It's just too many calories.
Yeah.
Mike Smith, we have found James Kryptonite. Damn traffic lights.
Yeah, is dude crashing out in the comments section over traffic lights in
Apparently.
ECU land?
The natural Pittsburgh rare or nothing. What is Pittsburgh rare?
Yeah, what does that mean?
What am I missing? Greenville greater than Stillwater. Amen.
Stay hard.
Exactly right. Maury, I would never take a glizzy when a chicken bake is on the menu. Bro, you're crazy. You are crazy. Chad Perling, circumcision boy can't pack Zyn. Wow. Mommy took a knife to the hammer, huh?
Bro.
I just said mommy took a knife to the hammer and you had nothing. I waste my best material on this guy. Like, I waste my best material.
Well, what am I supposed to do with that? Mommy took a knife.
Mommy took a knife to the hammer.
What am I supposed to do with that, dude?
I'm not sure. You do what you want to do.
21 times and girth
a month. You spend big on the ride, but going cheap on golf courses, Mr. Big Stuff. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? I don't. I kid. I only kid because Mrs. Monty and I talk about this stuff all the time. Like, I can play as many rounds of golf as I want. But like, I'm thinking about playing this week. Golf in Utah is a huge scam. So my favorite course to play right now is Park City Municipal.
Mm-hmm.
Sold out for a month.
Even as a single.
Every weekend for the next month, sold out. As a single, you can never get on there. They don't allow it. As a duo, as a 2 Saturdays and Sundays. I called and I'm like, it's not even available to book. They're like, yeah, we don't care. Screw you. You hit your PXG Mini driver too far. We can't have you here.
Have to say, the tea time situation is a little better in Eugene land. There are actually tea times available.
It's a scam.
Yeah.
It's 100% a scam. Addiction is a hell of a thing. Yes, it is. Habitual line stepper.
No doubt.
Indeed it is. Charlie says medium rare plus. Okay. I can't do the medium rare.
No.
I can't do it.
Top pink center, bro.
Can confirm that people stare at green lights in Greenville, live there for 2 years. Okay. Dude that abides, and you made it out. Monty, who's a ribeye. How does Jake's shoe wall compare to Ryan Smith's? Jake?
Couldn't tell you. Haven't done enough research.
Okay. But you do, so it's worth it. Wait, what now? What did I miss? Where did it I missed it. Okay. Jay says rare steak, if you need sauce, it's not good steak. I would agree. Not if we're being serious.
I can't do rare, bro. That's just not
medium, and I should not need ketchup. A1 sauce is absolute horse urine. Like that stuff is
horse urine.
No, dude. And these idiots that do like horseradish on my steak, shut up. Like just
what are we doing?
Anything that is that powerful and pungent changes the flavor of that steak. You're paying $75 for a steak and you're putting horseradish on it?
Nah, I'm fine.
Dude, come on. An ECU game is generally a good time anytime they don't get smoked. I have heard that. Shout I love fried chicken at Texas Roadhouse with gravy and potatoes. Let's get something right here. I love chicken fried steak, but it is so bad for you.
Yeah.
In terms of things without care for what they do to your body, dude, chicken fried steak. Oh my God. Remember when Cracker Barrel was a good place to eat? You could get chicken fried steak with just the most gravy ass mashed potatoes you've ever had. And a big ass bowl of buttery green beans. Oh my God.
But honestly, the problem is that now that's the thing, is that now you know so much about food that I feel like even if you had a craving for that, you still wouldn't eat it because you know. I feel like the knowledge has kind of ruined the food for you.
Well, it has. I'm just messing. I like medium rare. Okay. I don't hate it. He says high heat sear and rare on the inside. Well, that's actually not a bad way to go. The thing that I think a lot of people don't understand, here's me knowing more than you because, well, you're stupid. The thing that most people don't understand, that was a joke, by the way.
Monty, you said I was stupid. What do you mean?
You cook that steak on a smoker to rare, let it sit for 5 or 7 minutes. It'll cook itself to medium. And it is truly a thing of beauty. It is. Oh, man. Monty's quip did not translate to Eugene. No, I don't think it did. That's right. Shouty. Steak is good, medium well for me. Okay. Did you just compare golf to car insurance, bro? Kind of. Well, not really. Kim Coulter. Hey, Kim, how are you? You can play free when you come to Anthem. Just saying, dude. Golf in Arizona in the
but that
in the
would
winter
require
time?
dude to go to Phoenix, which I don't think that's going to happen. I could be wrong.
I'm a Troon Pass holder too, and I don't know that Troon North is so narrow. The only course I really want to play in Phoenix is Weekapaw.
Yeah,
I'd like to play that. So, Monty, did you get a new golf partner since Jake flew to Duck Country? I've not. I'll probably play by myself. Mrs. Monty and I play every Friday night. I'll probably join a men's league or, go to a bathhouse, something like that.
Bathhouse.
Or to hell. Greenville, where the best barbecue joint is located behind the cardiovascular center. Go Pirates. Oh my God. A1 or Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire
sauce.
That's right. If it ain't mooing, it's far too done. Okay. When will Teddy come back? I don't know, soon
bro.
Enough.
I don't know.
No, I gotta redo the floors and paint my house. So at some point, Teddy's going to have to come back. Gabriel, people put ketchup and mustard on steak. Nobody puts mustard on steak.
No, people do ketchup though.
The Cougars done took Teddy, and they are not giving him back. He will be missed.
Yes.
Them Draper Cougars, man. Ketchup on a steak is diabolical, but it's also really good. T-bone is the best. Oh, no.
Well, Monty, the bone's got flavor.
No. Oh, well, BYU's going to go 10-2 after I eat this ribeye. Let's get something straight. There is no question that a filet, a well-cooked filet, well-seasoned, you put that, you go to a proper steakhouse, you go to, like Ruth's Chris in Maui. Give me a filet. It'll be seasoned. You go to Mastro's in Newport. Don't get an aged steak there because it'll rot your butt out. But if you get a petite filet at Mastro's in Newport, a couple of grilled shrimp on top of it, some mushrooms on the side, little mashed potato. Ain't doing no T-bones, man. No. Cracker Barrel was never a good for you place to eat. Never good for you, but it was good. That is the truer words have never been spoken. Like, I love food, and now I can't eat at Cracker Barrel. Yeah. I can't eat at Jack in the Box. I cannot. Like, that burger at Five Guys the other day was good. It didn't do much for me, and now, and we probably will talk about it as the days go on. Now that the GLP-1 is upstairs in the refrigerator.
So what's the game plan? I know that you said that you were going to start on I think you said you were going to start on a Monday.
Weight. We're going to lose weight. That's the game plan.
Okay.
No, I'm going to start tomorrow morning because Mrs. Monty is going to be delayed. We were going to do it together, but
okay.
Dude, and the flipping insurance company moved the goalpost again.
What did they say this time,
bro? So you guys, if you watched the show yesterday, you know that my insurance company declined me for I can't even remember the name of the drug off the top of my head, but for a GLP-1, right? And I was like, okay, why did you do that? And the first time around, they were like, well, your health markers are too good, but you can appeal. Okay, let's appeal.
Right? Tirzepatide. Is that what you're
referencing? I'm using a Tirzepatide. That is, wildly popular, right? And I'm just like, okay, well, that's fine. My doctor writes another prescription or asks for an appeal, and they're like, oh, yeah, because you're not in therapy. You have to go to week or monthly therapy sessions on nutrition. Okay, my doctor's like, all right, I'll write a prescription for that. Boom, done. Oh, yeah, your health indicators are too good. Okay, I called this morning. That's not what you guys said. You said I needed to be in therapy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you got to be in therapy for 9 months, 6 to 9 months, and show progress and behavioral changes. Then we'll prescribe the Zepbound. It's called Zepbound. So now it's not that my health indicators are too good. Now it's not that I need to be in therapy. I now have to be in therapy 6 to 9 months. Why didn't you tell me that the first time? Oh, because you guys keep moving the goalposts so you don't have to pay for it. Right? Like, it's ridiculous. So we'll talk about it in a few minutes. Well-aged marbled ribeye with a baked potato. Can't be beat. Can't be beat. I'm a simple man. Give me a big, fat, juicy steak for $30 and my day is fulfilled. Bro,
ribeye.
You want to talk about simple? Give me some soup and breadsticks at Olive Garden, and I'm probably
Olive Garden breadstick is undefeated.
I'm good. Give me some $20 Chinese food. I've got a Red Asian Bistro, this joint at the district in South Jordan.
Good, bro.
Give me some shrimp fried rice with extra shrimp. I'm good. Give me a Costco glizzy. I'm good. Right? Like, if we're really talking about being simple, I'm telling you, like today for lunch, I went in my refrigerator with no idea what I was going to eat. My wife had pre-made Spanish rice in the crock pot or in the Ninja thing.
Instapot.
Instapot. I had Spanish rice, chicken breast chopped, and a frozen bag of mixed vegetables. Protein and fiber. And it was really good. Was really good. You know, all that's changing now because I can eat like a pebble-sized meal. But, you know, LG's in Palm Springs. Never heard of it, but I should try. The Rainmaker movie from the Grisham book really is not too far off of insurance companies, bro. I think we deserve better.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything they can do to not pay for stuff. It's literally ridiculous. I'm just shocked. And really, I should rephrase that. I'm not shocked.
I'm not shocked at all.
It just annoys me to no end. And it's like, oh, well, hey, you got to do this. Okay, I did it. Time to pay up. Nah, actually, it just keeps going, dude. It's ridiculous.
It is totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. All right, let's hit it one more time. hopeforkiri.org. This is getting serious now, and I know we've talked about this. I talked about it on the show yesterday, and I hope that you guys went and looked at the website, because this is a big deal now, and it's blowing up in our community. We raised $6,000 yesterday. The GoFundMe went from $34,000 to $41,000, but the goal is $325,000, and we really need to see if we can do more. This young chap is 3 years old. He has a rare brain disease that is killing him, and the only way to extend his life is through a bone marrow transplant. And I encourage you to get to his website and try to do what you can do. hopeforkiri.org. If you are somebody that would like to explore donation, it's a bone marrow donation. It is a very easy swab in your cheek. He's got, at this point, about 10 days of time to find a bone marrow donor. And it's that serious. If you guys have any chance, any ability, please consider it. Get to their website and check out their donations. They have a GoFundMe set up, as I said, and it's amazing to see people donating, $200, $1,000, $5, $10. As I always say on this show, there is 79,000 people watching this show right now. If 1,000 people donated $10 to hopeforkiri.org, imagine the difference that would make for this 3-year-old. And I know that I always ask a lot of you guys, and this is just one of those things that in our community here in Salt Lake City is really blown up, because this cat is 3 years old and he's got a debilitating brain disorder that is killing him. And I just hope that you'll consider, even if you just go look at his website, understand the situation, do what you can do. And if you can donate, great. If you can't, totally get it. If you think you want to donate bone marrow, go through their process. It's super easy. If not, totally get it. But just take 3 minutes and spend 3 minutes on this kid's story and let it impact you a little bit, because you look at the way that people have reacted to this story, and you understand why it's so hard to turn away from it. And I just hope that you guys will consider it, at least spending 3 minutes on their website, and, just let it understand. Yeah. Let it sink in what it's like. My prescription drug plan, VA, does a great job. Hey, man, you deserve it, dude. And I hope you get every piece of benefit that you are supposed to get. Gabriel, and again, when I enroll in dental coverage, I am worried that United will deny me for almost anything. Dude, dental insurance is such a scam. I'm telling you, it's a scam.
And personal health care is even worse.
Phil, I'll be back in Tempe in September. We'll get to golf, the other talking stick course, and get to see ASU TCU. Nice. The shock when a claim is approved, right? Because you're just assuming. Lowry's Signature Steakhouse, 12 hours drive for an hour, uncovered in the fridge, brought to room temp, then firewood grilled for $400 to desired doneness. Pecan wood is my personal fave. Dude, Lowry's, the prime rib in Beverly Hills.
Underrated.
Oh, we've been there so many times. Phil Benzer, talking about health insurance approvals, I'm still waiting to get endovascular laser therapy on the leg veins. Oh, man. And I just don't understand why we have facilitated a system that's like, yeah, I know you gave us all those premiums, but we're not going to pay it.
No.
Nah, you guys are on your own. Right? That's what it feels like to me. So, all right, couple of things before we get out of here today. Howard Stern is done at SiriusXM. His contract allegedly will not be renewed. SiriusXM is going to offer him a contract that, by industry sources, will be a lowball offer. I'm a little surprised by this because Howard's the only reason I have Sirius. I have it in all my cars. An insider said, quote, Sirius and Stern are never going to meet on the money he's going to want. It's no longer worth the investment. Well, I can tell you the investment is the amount of people you're going to lose when his show goes off, because I will no longer subscribe to SiriusXM if that happens.
Well, and for me, like, I think, one of the biggest things is, I mean, I know that Sirius has worked really hard to have a phone app so that, it's not just when you're in your car, you can listen on your phone, but that's a separate charge. And, I don't have to commute, and so I could have easily set up Sirius in my car and chose not to. I was like, I'm not going to pay for that. Like, I love Howard, but, ultimately, like, I don't drive and I'm definitely not paying for the app and everything else that I need. I can get in other places. So, if Sirius doesn't want to renew Howard at what he feels he should be paid, Howard should absolutely just, go to YouTube or go to whatever, platform he wants to do. Cause it was a big to do during the pandemic when they moved, he built a home studio and all that. Like, he's got everything he needs. So I just think I agree with you. That's wild that they would not want to pay him, because I don't listen to other stuff on Sirius.
Yeah, I don't at all. And I don't think that I will continue to subscribe. I love Howard Stern, and I know that people get upset about his political leanings, or he took a lot of heat for Kamala Harris going on that show. I think it is unfortunate that we're not allowed to, in this country anymore, talk about the things we want to talk about, right? It's unfortunate that you look at what happened with CBS and Colbert, or you look at PBS, you look at the way that we've absolutely decimated the media in this country. It's not what it used to be. Howard Stern's never going to want for a penny. My guess is he'll ride off into the sunset. That'd be my guess. He will just retire, because why wouldn't you? Right? It's a matter of in my opinion, where does SiriusXM go from here? Because I think it's going to be very tough. Charlie says, where would go to start the process of donating? To just go to his website. Go to the young man, the family for this kid set up a website, hopeforkiri.org, KIRI, hopeforkiri.org. And again, you guys, if you can go and read about his story, even if you don't have the resources to donate either marrow or money, just go read. There's a section on their website about his journey that talks all about everything that he's been through. I mean, this is a guy that, he was born March 23rd of 2022. Like, this kid, he's 3 years old. And to have this debilitating brain injury, or brain disease rather, is just, he's 3 years old and he just doesn't deserve that. Like, 3-year-olds don't deserve that. And you look at the bone marrow harvest process. They talk all about it, that there's no pain, that it's a 1 to 2 week recovery. And you're back doing your normal activities in a day or two. Like, it is, I know it seems like a lot, but if you join the registry, they'll send you a kit at home. The chances of us being matches if you know anything about that process, you know it's slim and none. It's a really tough thing to find. It's a very tough thing to find a donor match. It really is. And I appreciate that, Gabriel. Charlie, Elway's in Denver is amazing too, but too bad he's an awful person. Well, and he's going through this thing with his agent dying. His agent fell off a golf cart that John, I think, was riding in or driving, and he passed, and it's brutal. Johnny Gonzalez, after the Shannon Sharp stuff, it feels like big personalities are going independent. Well, was Shannon Sharp a victim of big media?
Shannon Sharp was a victim of his own indulgence, honestly.
I would agree with that.
He put himself in a bad position, but I don't think that. I think that the Pat McAfee to ESPN move encouraged some people to try to get back on to bigger networks, but I
would
think
agree.
that's all going to fizzle out again. Dave Portnoy on Fox. We'll see what it is. You know, it's got potential. We'll see how he does. But I think there's a difference between guys like Pat and Dave and guys like Howard Stern. Howard Stern's been doing this thing for decades. I mean, I before I was born, definitely before I was born. And you know, the thing is like, you know, his greatness is the ability to reach people of all ages. You know, the ability to entertain the masses is what his show is really good at. And some days I tune it out. Some days I'm not a big fan, and other days I love it and I eat it up and I'm laughing my ass off. But I just the assertion from Sirius that he's not worth what he wants to be paid is crazy to me.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Shannon Sharp doesn't deserve to be at ESPN. I mean, you act like that, you take things for granted like that, you don't deserve to be there. And it is, I am telling you, it is a privilege to work at a place like ESPN. And I know there's a lot of people who will be upset about that or disagree with me on that. I'm just telling you. Monty started the trend of big names going independent. Well, it's funny. I was talking to somebody today who sent me. You guys know I don't read my tweet notifications at all. It's just a wasteland of death and obscurity. But apparently, the local radio station here was talking about, and let me look at my text. I have to find it. But they were talking about somehow Texas Tech being mid, and I'm just like, dude. Don't lump all Salt Lake City people in with the local leeches that do talk radio here, because the sports talk radio in Salt Lake City is absolutely a wasteland of awfulness. Like, there is very little talent here. They are not educated. They do not do homework. Like, it truly is Homer radio. And we've had so many opportunities to take our show to local radio here, and we have said no every time because it's just not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it just is not, you know, it's just not worth the time.
It's a pain in the ass. Let's be honest, dude. When you're independent, you talk about whatever you want, do whatever you want. You're not working for someone else. Like, I mean, I understand that, you know, the money's not as good and there are certain cons to it, but it's hard to beat the flexibility and the ability to just, I mean, we could literally, not that we would, but like we could literally roll up on the show one day and, you know, talk about literally anything we want to talk about. Like,
yeah, I can show up in a pink shirt and talk about, never mind. Yeah, I just think that sports radio is broken. I think we are at a place, especially on the local level, where companies don't invest in local talent anymore. They just don't invest in coaching talent. They don't invest in building shows and financially supporting those shows. And it's what makes Pat McAfee's show so unique, because he's always had the financial backing of a FanDuel, now in ESPN, where he gets the biggest guests, where he understands leveraging headlines and SEO and titles and descriptions. That's what the game is. And anymore, local radio guys just want to be on the radio. They don't want to do the work that's required to learn how to use YouTube. That's why they call us and ask us to help them tune their YouTube presences. And it's like, it's not rocket science, but you do have to do the work. And I think somebody like Shannon Sharp, I just don't think they want to do that. Gabriel, Fox Sports Radio is so horrible. About the amount of political and LeBron hate I see on that platform's wild. Fox Sports needs to get it together. Nobody watches Fox Sports. Truly. I like the flexibility of your show, welcoming to fans from all over the country. That's what this is. because I think people forget we're just the conduit for you guys to talk sports with each other.
Mm-hmm.
The comment section is what this show is about. Now you're here because your wife thinks I'm hot, and I get that. I understand that's how
What is
you
it
found
like
the
having
show.
that? What is it like having that responsibility? I mean, it
You'll never
must
know.
be cumbersome.
You'll never know. I mean, the weight that I bear for all of your wives, hey man, somebody's got to do it, and I'm happy to carry that burden for you guys. Okay,
length and girth.
It is what it is. But I'm shocked that Howard Stern is done at SiriusXM. I am really surprised. I think it is.
How is he that expendable? How is Sirius in a place where there's like, yep, no, not going to pay you. Sorry.
He's not expendable, in my opinion. I think SiriusXM, my wife listens to it for music. I listen to it for sports. But I really only have it because of Howard Stern. I can get anything I get on SiriusXM, friends, I can get it right here on my iPhone, which is plugged in. I can get it right here on my iPhone. I never have to worry about, hey, I wonder what the Bears are doing. Here, let me open up the Odyssey app and listen to the score in Chicago.
Right.
Like, what's my value prop on SiriusXM? I don't have one.
The only other thing I could think of would just be during football season if you're in a pinch and you, for some reason, don't have YouTube TV on your phone already. And you would need to listen to an audio feed.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're watching, if you're one of the 79,000 people watching on Twitter right now, please give us a retweet. Hit the heart. Give us a like button. And if you don't follow me on Twitter, please do so. The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show. You can also go up there and click the link in our bio for YouTube. You should see that there's a link that says youtube.com/The Monty Show. Make sure you get at it. Come over here, hit the like and subscribe. I appreciate everybody who has listened to this show on X the last month or so. Has been phenomenal. Our promo code is blowing up at Bucked Up. I appreciate that. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% off at checkout. The biggest story in sports, I want to recap it real quick here for you guys because I'm actually texting with somebody during the show. Yes, I am a jackwagon. I can confirm to you that ESPN, according to a well-placed source, ESPN in the Mountain West, of course, don't know why my phone did that. Because I double tapped the back of the iPhone, so it closed. ESPN and the Mountain West are deep in discussion. A deal has not been finalized, and there's really nothing on paper as of this very moment, but I expect that to happen very quickly. ESPN has a significant appetite for sports, especially with the new DTC coming. So I'd put money that ESPN does business with the Mountain West, by the way, also with the Pac-12. Yeah, I mean, so I'm saying, like, everybody that's in this thing saying that, the Mountain West is getting this and the Pac-12 screwed, I don't think that exists. I think what you are seeing is they are splitting the baby. Had they stayed together and merged, they'd be getting more money per school than they're going to get separately. And again, I can just tell you, one is not more valuable than the other.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Charlie says, lost all respect for Howard about his comments about the Columbine high school shooting. Bro, how long ago was that? Right? And that's your right. And if you feel that way, I'm down. I totally get it. Gabriel, and again, the interaction is what makes this show stand out for most. I appreciate that. It would be weird to hear the Monty Show brought to you by the Daily Wire. Exactly.
Yeah, it would.
Exactly. It's why a stay single can't deal with how she might look at you. I know.
Length and girth.
You got to be terrified. And now that I'm getting on the Zepbound. Thank God damn it. Will it fix my short-term memory? My recall memory is horrendous. The Zepbound. Zepbound's up in the refrigerator. You want to know the masochistic life that I live? My wife is like, dude, I'm going to stab you with that stuff. Because it's literally a vial and a syringe, right? And my wife is like, oh, yeah, I'm doing it.
Was there any recommendation about where she should stab you?
Well, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. Let me get some more of these Howard comments and we'll talk about that because it's a big thing where you should inject yourself.
Yeah.
With Howard Stern, Sirius XM is just paid Pandora. It really is. I don't disagree with that. Baba Booey. Yes. Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music control the car radio world.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, dude. Like, so Apple Music led the way with CarPlay as being like the standard music option for people, and obviously you have the podcast app through Apple and all that. But then Spotify came along and introduced their app that was compatible with CarPlay, so that you could do that. And then everyone else came along, including Sirius. And the thing is I guess what's interesting is when I've had Sirius in my car, I didn't use the app through CarPlay, mainly because before the car I have now, I didn't have CarPlay. I used the in-radio satellite feed. That's what I used. And I think that's part of the value. Like, there have been times in my life where I knew, like, I didn't do it this time, but like in the past, like I knew, all right, I'm going to be driving for like 13, 14 hours. Like, let's dial up Sirius and turn Howard on. And, I at one time I even had like the gosh, do you remember the channel, the Symphony channel that I can never remember the name of? There's a channel on Sirius where like it's all like symphony music and
which I listen to far too often.
Yeah, Symphony Hall. And like, so that's the value to me of Sirius. But it rubs me the wrong way that a guy like Howard is going to be like, hey, yeah, we're going to lowball the hell out of you because we don't feel like you're worth it. Like, what do you mean, dude? Like, how does that work?
It's a huge decision. Johnny Gonzalez, let's get some of the X audience over here to YouTube, but they don't want to come over here because of the commercial load.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of things like X. You don't get a lot of commercials on, you'll get none on X. You probably get a lot on YouTube. Like it's Kenneth, you just beat me to it. This ESPN app is going to be game changing because you don't have to have cable anymore to watch all the biggest sporting events in the world. Period.
Here's my question though, with this ESPN thing. On YouTube TV, you can do the 4-box and like they do a bunch of that grouping kind of. What I'm going to be paying attention to with this DTC thing is how interactive will it truly be? What will like how dialed up will it be? Because I think that matters.
I think that matters as well. The ESPN app will be great. I can watch both alma maters, ECU and Florida, on one app because they own the rights to the SEC and the American. I mean, I think it's a game changer for a lot of people.
Kenneth,
I really
you
do.
You are walking a dangerous path towards Oak State James territory, sir.
Well, okay.
Can't be a fan of two teams now. Come on.
You can. You can't be a fan of 11 teams and the Rectory Club.
Yeah.
That you cannot do. And you can't drive a Honda Civic while doing it.
Yeah, seriously.
It is what it is. Okay. Let's talk about Setbound real quick before we get out of here. On the Monty Show, presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. You guys, I say it all the time, The Advocates. You get in an accident. I was watching a video today of a truck driver on the 15 freeway that veered into the first lane and literally crushed a small car. Getting involved with semi-trucks, tractor trailers, 18-wheelers is so dangerous for any of us driving a car. You got to have somebody who understands how to fight that fight for you. The Advocates have fought that fight tens of thousands of times. They know the outcomes. They know how to get you what you deserve. You didn't deserve to get hit by that semi-truck. You didn't deserve to get hit when you were riding your motorcycle or your bicycle. That's why the Advocates are going to fight for you. All you have to do is go to theadvocates.com. And the best part, there's no risk because you don't pay the Advocates unless and until they win your case. There are no consultation fees. There are no retainers. You hand them the claims process. They'll fight the fight so you can get back to the best version of yourself at theadvocates.com. All right. So we are full on into this Zepbound thing.
Right.
And I am skeptical. I'll be honest with you. I have talked to tens of people. I have probably talked to 10, 12 people who are using it. And everybody tells me, hey, like the injection thing. So for me, I get a vial and a needle.
Oh,
And
okay.
I went through what's called Lilly Direct. Eli Lilly manufactures the drug. And what it is it's two drugs combined into one that essentially slow down your digestion and change the chemicals in your body so that you are less hungry. It is not a cheat code. It is not an easy button. You still need to work out. You still need to eat well. You still need to eat fiber. You still need to eat protein. You need to drink probably, I think the minimum that I will be able to drink every day is 80 ounces of water. Because what is Zepbound? What is a GLP-1, Wegovy, Ozempic? What do any of these things do for you? They help you restrict calories. Because as I've said for years and years on this show, gaining weight or losing weight is about how many calories are in and how many calories are out. Now, are there metabolic diseases and dysfunction that are changing that? Yes. Is the kind of food we eat, processed foods, high sugar foods, when we drink things like sodas, diet sodas, regular sodas, absolutely, it makes our lives much more difficult. But at the end of the day, what things like Zepbound, Wegovy, what all of these GLP-1s and semaglutides do is they change the way that your body looks at food. And the reason that I think I will be successful on this is because I already have really good nutritional habits. If you have really trashy nutritional habits, it's all it is a facilitator, a conduit for you to change and learn how to have a better relationship with food. I truly think that's what it's about. Because you can't just simply take a Zepbound, for instance, and be like, all right, cool, time to eat some French fries and let me get a bunch of processed foods, and it's not going to work. One, you're not going to feel good, because what the drugs actually do is they slow down how the pace at which you digest your food. So if you eat a whole bunch of food, you're going to feel sick. Your stomach's going to be full for a long time, which is, I think, one of the worst feelings in the world. If you overeat, that's what's going to happen. So portion control is huge. If you eat a bunch of fatty food, you're going to feel terrible because that's just going to sit in your system. So it really, what these drugs do is teach you how to have a good relationship. And what that does is help you bring your calories down, bring your portions down. That's the main reason that I think they're successful.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't think that there's any doubt. Like, my opinion is, I think it'll work great for you. I think you're exactly right. I think because what you're already doing, this is just kind of like an Oak State James reference. This is going to turbo your cut, basically. Like, this is going to,
I would agree with that.
It's going to suppress your appetite on some level. It will, and I don't know, with the people you're saying you've talked to, I know that it lowers food noise and cravings and things like that. So it just makes it a lot easier to not overeat. You're not as like locked on, because we all know how it is, right? Like, you got great food in front of you, you just want to smash that, bro. Like, that's how we all are, bro. Like, that's the issue. So, I mean, I think it'll work perfectly for you. I actually think you'll be really happy with it. And I think what'll be really curious with the process is, one, how long you wind up using it. And then two, once you decide you're ready to not use it, then how that process will work for you coming back. Because that's the other thing people talk about is just like getting back off of it.
Yeah, I think the key for that is you have to determine how badly you want to change your lifestyle. And as somebody that lost a ton of weight on the Atkins diet, my problem with losing all that weight on the Atkins diet was I didn't like how I felt, because I didn't have any muscle mass. I was not strong. And so after I stopped doing the Atkins diet, the mistake I made is I didn't continue to curb my calories, because I didn't learn how to curb calories. On the Atkins diet, you don't worry about calories. You're worried about keeping it under 20 carbs a day. And that's just not a healthy way to live your life. So what I did was I gained a bunch of weight back because I was eating a lot of carbs. And but then turned around and went heavy into strength training, and like, I was just a lot more active and I had a lot more muscle. I was stronger. what I think the difference is and what I hope the difference will be this time. If my guess is I will probably do it for a year or so. You never know. I'm committed to it for the better part of a year, right? And I'm committed to taking my shot every Wednesday morning. Although people say you should do it at night, so maybe I'll do it tonight before I go to bed, because they say the first couple hours you feel like ass after you take the shot. And I'm committed to doing it midweek because my weekends I'm very busy. And so a lot of times I go out, like next weekend I'm out of town. So I want to make sure I take it during the week so that I don't miss it on the weekend. Right. So I've put thought into that. Now, the big thing with these GLP-1s is people all want to know, like, where's the best place to inject it? You can do it in an arm. You can do it in your underarm. You can do it on your thigh. Or a lot of people will tell you, hey, inject it on your abdomen next to, above, or on the other side, left, right, or above your belly button. Now, those people who inject it into their stomach say they feel a lot more side effects, but they also feel a lot more effectiveness, right? People say, hey, if you inject it into your arm, you're going to feel a lot more effectiveness, less side effects. If you inject it into your leg, you'll feel no side effects, but it'll be less effective. So there's all of this experimenting that goes on. Frankly, I will probably just dive right in and take the injection in my stomach because it's a painless injection. It does not hurt. So I will probably go that way. And the way it works is you start on they give you like number doses. So for 1 month, I will be on 2.5. Then in month 2, you double that to 5. Then in month 3, you go to 7. Then in month 4, you go to 10. Then in month 5, you supposedly go to 15 and just stay on that until you're done with it. But that's why I need to be consulting with my doctor, which I'm going to do. We're going to start meeting monthly about it. So there's a process. But again, I think the whole thing is just eating well.
Totally.
So
totally.
Just eating well and not eating too much. I'll be interested to see, like, can I eat a half cup of oats in the morning? Because my breakfast is well documented on this show. Is a half cup of oats, a scoop of chia seeds, a scoop of collagen, and you can, yes, Chewy, you can all call me Manjaro, which is the diabetes version
Manjaro Monty.
Which is fine. Hey, listen, it's good. Anyway, so half a cup of oats, chia seeds, creatine, collagen, 4 ounces of berries, and a teaspoon of peanut butter. That feels like a lot to me. That feels like a lot to me. So I'm really curious how I'll feel about that. The other thing, you know what I did the last 2 days, oddly enough? I did not eat until 11 o'clock the last 2 days. And today I was starving. And then I had lunch, so I'm probably not going to have dinner because I'm not going to be hungry. I don't know. My wife is baking sweet potato wedges tonight, and it's like, geez Louise.
Yeah.
So
I think the big thing is just going to be, my opinion is, I don't think you'll have the desire to eat what you usually eat. I really do think it will literally put you in a spot where you're like, yeah, like maybe it's a quarter cup instead of a half cup, and I'm you know portioning down those other things that I put in, so it's all kind of in alignment with as far as the oatmeal is concerned. But I just think overall, man, I think what's going to happen is you're going to keep working out, you're going to keep golfing, you're going to keep doing all the things you like to do, and this is just going to make it a hell of a lot easier to cut weight. That honestly for you, because you're right. Like, and this is what you talked about so much, is that people just think that, oh, well, I'm doing the shot, I don't have to do anything else.
I'm doing the shot.
Yeah, like I do the shot and I don't have to do anything else. And like, it's just like an auto, like broad brush solution, when what it really is what it should be is exactly what you're talking about. It should just simply speed the process up for you and help your body, help your body not be as prone to wanting to eat all the bad things that we all as people love to eat. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, I'll let you know because I'm going to start taking it tonight. So
yeah,
We'll get into it.
Sweet dreams.
I'll let you know. Sweet dreams, honey. Hopefully it doesn't disturb my sleep, right? The Monty Show, as always, presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. Okay, the awkward goodbye now again, because Jake doesn't have the fade, so say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.